Chapter 395. It can't be that bad. Bulu Lin couldn't help but say, our entire Black Dragon Mountain starfield has over 8,000 galaxies, with trillions of star levels. Don't tell me it's hard to even find a genius to enter the top 1 million? Very hard. Extremely hard. Hargray nodded. The Ganwu Universe country has over 13,000 starfields, of which there are close to 1,000 subordinate countries. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire is only a subordinate country of the Ganwu Universe country. In terms of warrior numbers, we're even weaker than the starfields directly under the Ganwu Universe country. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire's #1 genius, to even rank within the top 10,000 in the Ganwu Universe country, is very hard. Much less the entire human race in the universe with over 1,000 universe countries. Hargray said, just like the last genius battle, within the top 10,000 of the Ganwu Universe country, there wasn't a genius from our starfield. Bulu Lin stared wide-eyed. Shame, this is our Black Dragon Mountain Empire's shame. It's also our sacred land's shame. Hargray's rage surged, the surrounding temperature immediately dropped, the surrounding air froze, forming ice crystals. Grandfather! Bulu Lin felt the bone-piercing cold, shouting. Hargray's thoughts moved, the surrounding temperature returned to normal. I feel ashamed, just a belly full of anger. Alright, I still have to nurture that group of disciples, you can return first. Hargray said. Yes, grandfather. Bulu Lin didn't dare say much, immediately leaving. This time, his original plan to get his grandfather to send people to deal with Luo Feng had been delayed. China year 2066, March 9th, Day, Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island. The many continents and islands in the virtual universe similarly had black skies and white nights, even the sky had a simulated star. At this time, it was night time, the entire Black Dragon Mountain Island had many lights, some bars and other places were even more resplendent, everything was the same as before. Suddenly, in the night sky above the Black Dragon Mountain Island, an incomparably huge black announcement appeared out of thin air. On this completely black announcement there were dazzling words that emitted white light. Humanity of the Universe. Genius Battle. Once every 10,000 years. It's about to begin. It's organized by the Virtual Universe Company and all the universe countries. You're a genius? Unable to find an opponent of the same level? Then let's participate in the pinnacle genius battle. Here, there will be countless universe countries from the entire universe, trillions of geniuses battling. For more information, please use the virtual assistant to enter the Virtual Universe Network to browse. This huge announcement suddenly appeared in the night sky. It was over 1,000,000 miles long and wide. Even the Black Dragon Mountain Island, which had a population of hundreds of millions, could clearly see this announcement if they raised their heads. The top genius battle is about to begin? Wah haha, this is crazy. Trillions of geniuses from all the universe countries battling? This is a grand event for the entire human race. I heard that the top 1,000 in the entire universe will receive a shocking reward. This time it's organized by the Virtual Universe Company. The rewards will definitely be huge. The Apex Genius Battle is held twice every 10,000 years. This time it was held by the Virtual Universe Company. This time, it will be held in the Battleaxe Coliseum. Hurry up and check out the official website. In the virtual universe, every continent that represented a universe country, every island that represented a middle-tier country in the universe had a huge notice board in the air. Every notice was advertising the news of the universe humanity, pinnacle genius battle that was about to begin. Within a night, this news had spread throughout all the universe countries of humanity. The speed of transmission was extremely fast. One could see how advanced the virtual universe network was. Slaughterhouse space. This was a vast desert, and there were thousands of black-clothed people densely packed together. Every black-clothed person was a star level 5, and in front of these thousands of black-clothed people stood a white-robed bald man, wielding an origin energy battle blade. The edge of the blade reflected a faint cold luster. "Kill! Kill!" the thousands of black-clothed men shouted coldly, after which they all madly rushed over like lightning. The white-robed bald man smiled as he walked over. His surroundings were filled with lightning. When the foremost group of black-clothed men rushed over, the white-robed bald man's body suddenly moved. The battle blade in his hands moved too. Chi! The blade was as fast as lightning. In an instant, it sliced open the head of a black-clothed man. Fresh blood and brain matter splattered everywhere. Chi! 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 The white-robed bald man's steps didn't seem fast, but each time he moved strangely. At the same time the battle blade didn't move. The moment it did, it was as fast as lightning, killing in one hit. His steps and blade movements formed a very strange and mysterious rhythm, the combination of fast and slow. Large amounts of opponents of the same level were killed. Chi! A long whip lashed on the white-robed bald man's left arm, immediately causing it to explode. Fresh blood splattered everywhere. Chi! 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 The others surrounding him immediately took the chance to attack in a frenzy. The white-robed bald man was dead. The surrounding space trembled slightly. All of the black-clothed men, including the corpses, blood stains and remains disappeared, and the white-robed bald man once again appeared. "Woo, I did well, right?" Thunder God smiled. "I killed over 190 opponents of the same level in one breath." "Stupid, stupid, stupid. You're stupid to the max. Back then, without my teaching, you could already have a domain by yourself. Now I'm fully nurturing you. A genius like you should improve even more." On Thunder God's shoulder was a fist-sized white-bearded old man roaring, "Also, the last time you actually lost to that Hong. I've lost face. Hong doesn't have a teacher, you have me to teach you, and you actually lost." "I almost won," Thunder God said. "You have to know that in all these years, I've never won against my big brother even once. The last time I almost won, that's not bad." "What do you mean by not bad? You have to have high expectations of yourself." "Alright, now let me talk about your movement and blade work. From today's test, your movement still has many problems. I can see 9 points. Number 1, the movement of the blade is also a part of your movement. You've never been able to fully understand it. Number 2. The white-bearded old man pointed out a bunch of flaws. Thunder God listened attentively. After the training ended, Thunder God walked out of the killing fields. As he stretched outside the Great Hall, preparing to call the Pegasus in the sky, he saw the incomparably huge announcement in the sky. "Damn!" Thunder God stared. "Such a huge announcement?" Thunder God looked at the contents of the announcement. "Genius battle? Punk, you have to participate, it's a rare opportunity." Old Man Wu roared. "Big Brother 30. Thunder God informed Luo Feng and Hong. Earth's Asian continent dawn. On a ruined highway, Luo Feng was dressed in a battle uniform, carrying a dark golden long rod on his back, coldly staring ahead. With a thought, he roared, "Illusion form." Chi! Immediately, a golden light flew out from the dark golden long rod on his back. Simultaneously a strange and powerful energy descended and merged into the golden light, causing it to pause in mid-air. These were 9 thin little golden blades, and at this time, these 9 palm-sized little golden blades were scattered and arranged. At the same time they were incomparably complex and peculiar golden engravings. With the help of the compressed domain, Luo Feng relied on his powerful consciousness to forcefully control the 9 little golden blades. The golden threads permeated and connected. In terms of complexity, it was thousands to tens of thousands of times more complicated than the soaring shuttle. "Condense." Luo Feng gritted his teeth. The 9 little golden blades connected with each other, the complicated golden threads, the mysterious combination finally caused a golden illusion blade to gradually form. Pung! The golden illusion blade crumbled. The golden threads broke and dispersed into the 9 little golden blades. Return. Luo Feng's expression was pale, shaking his head and sighing. The 9 little golden blades swiftly flew back to the dark golden long rod behind him, following the gap in the rod and piercing into it. I didn't expect the first level of the Nanshin armament to be so difficult. Luo Feng shook his head and sighed. This Nanshin armament had been nurtured for a period of time. It was already incomparably compatible with him. However, the difficulty of unleashing it was indeed shocking. Even the first level was so taxing for him. Right now his domain was level 5, and he had stepped into the doorstep of the universe gold origin laws. Simultaneously his willpower amplifier had reached 58. Of course this willpower was actually the sole willpower of the universe level 6 golden horned beast, hence it made Luo Feng, a star level 7 spirit reader, have such a sick willpower. Strong willpower, domain level 5, initial steps into the doorstep of the universe gold origin laws. Any one of these would be sick within the star level. However, even so, he hadn't even mastered the first level. Don't rush, Luo Feng, your domain, origin law comprehension, willpower, unleashing the first level is enough. However, you're not used to it yet, you'll have to practice over and over again. Many of the controls have to reach the stage where they become second nature. That way, controlling it won't take up so much of your willpower. Babata said. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng, there's a call from Thunder God. Babata said. Second brother? Luo Feng was shocked. Thunder God had been trained hard by his living AI. He rarely contacted him. Connect to the Virtual Universe Network. West Asia, in a wilderness. A beggar dressed in tattered clothes sat crossed-legged under a crooked tree. The surrounding beasts that frequently ran past ignored him, not even bothering to eat him. Howl, the beasts all attacked each other, fresh blood flowing everywhere. However, the beggar still sat quietly. If there's light, there's light. There's none, there's only darkness. The beggar said softly. Who? The beggar who was sitting there immediately vanished. The area around him actually became pitch black. Suddenly this pitch black disappeared, and the beggar appeared once again. The universe, nature, the ancient people's wisdom is vast and profound. It's just that they're limited by their bodies and spirit, unable to probe deeper. The beggar revealed a smile. I was almost defeated by second brother last time. This time I've finally stepped into the domain level 6. Second brother is looking for me again. Don't tell me he wants to spar with me. The beggar's tattered clothes immediately ignited. Simultaneously a set of clothes extended from his body, immediately becoming a calm-looking man. It was the big brother of the Earth's 3 strongest. Hong. Luo Feng and Hong both entered the Virtual Universe Network. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 396. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay District. Luo Feng and Hong appeared at the grass patch outside their house. At this time Thunder God shouted, 30, big brother, you've finally arrived, quickly look up. What's the matter, making such a racket? Hong smiled and glanced at him, before looking up. Luo Feng too looked up curiously. In the sky, there was an incomparably huge announcement, almost like a heavenly screen covering the sky. Genius battle? Hong squinted, a gleam flashing past. The entire universe's universe countries, trillions of geniuses battle? Luo Feng looked at the announcement and couldn't help but take in a deep breath. Madness, it was simply madness, just how vast was the universe. Not even mentioning the universe, just the Ganwu universe country alone had over 100 million galaxies. A galaxy's number 1 genius, the entire universe country could gather over 100 million geniuses. Interesting. Luo Feng squinted, within he felt a strong desire. Big brother 30. Thunder God walked over, extending his hand and pointing beside him. Immediately a screen appeared. On it was the Virtual Universe Company's official website, and on the main page there was an incomparably conspicuous topic: humanity of the universe. Genius Battle. Open it and take a look, Hong said. Thunder God gently tapped and opened the topic. After opening it, it was a detailed introduction of the universe's humanity. Genius Battle. The Genius Battle was open to all star-level humans. As long as you were a star-level human, you could register to participate, and the Genius Battle, accurately speaking, was held once every 5,000 years, and twice every 10,000 years. These two were respectively organized by the Virtual Universe Company and the Battleaxe Dojo. Hence to the Virtual Universe Company, this Genius Battle was naturally a once-in-10,000 years event. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The Genius Battle was split into Universe Country Selections and the Final Battle. The various Universe countries would conduct internal selections, after which the elites would be chosen to participate in the final battle of the entire universe's humanity. The final battle would determine the final rankings. The top 1,000 in the universe will receive 3 great rewards. 1. According to your rank, you will receive 10 mixed elements. 10,000 mixed elements. 2. You will receive a slot to enter the primal universe to study. 3. You can become a core member of the Virtual Universe Company. Luo Feng was shocked within. As long as one was ranked in the top 1,000, the lowest one would obtain 10 mixed elements, comparable to all of his gains in the world within a world. The highest reward was 10,000 mixed elements. Only the number 1 in the entire universe Genius Battle would be able to obtain it. 10,000 mixed elements was already comparable to the entire wealth of an undying. The Virtual Universe Company was indeed rich and overbearing. 1,000 people can enter the primal cosmos? Luo Feng couldn't forget the scene during the Ganwu auction for the slot to enter the primal universe. Even his teacher hadn't entered the primal universe before. Their offer is not bad. Bonus, entering the primal universe, becoming a core member. These conditions are worthy of the top 1,000 absolute geniuses. Babata said. Luo Feng, the opportunity is not bad, you have to go try. What do you mean try? Asked Luo Feng. From your tone, it sounds like it'll be hard for me to charge into the top 1,000. What do you mean by very difficult? Luo Feng, you've really underestimated the trillions of geniuses in the universe. Not to mention the top 1,000 in the entire universe, that's too difficult for you, almost impossible. Just the Ganwu Universe Country alone, to be able to charge into the top 1,000, that's already not bad. Babata said. Luo Feng was shocked. Even though there are very few undyings in the universe, however, with so many universe countries added together, the number of star levels under the tutelage of undyings, that number in the trillions. In terms of talent, there are many with powerful bloodlines and amazing talents, there are many. In terms of comprehension, there are countless people in the universe. How could there not be many with extremely strong comprehension? In terms of willpower and hard work, there are many more. Your biggest trump card is the golden horned beast's body. It bestows you with an extremely strong willpower, and also lowers the requirements for your comprehension of the origin laws. However, with these, to charge into the top 1,000 of the trillions of geniuses in the universe, really, there's still a long way to go. Babata's tone changed, saying, Of course you've already worked very hard, even though the golden horned beast has bestowed you with enough talent, but the difference between golden horned beasts and golden horned beasts is still very big. Your golden horned beast, you've trained very hard, to be able to reach a domain level 5 in a short 3 years. Your hard work is the main reason. Like your big brother and the others, in terms of age, they're even older than your grandfather, and many of the star-level geniuses in the universe are already a few hundred years old. As for the star levels that have lived for a few thousand years, they're actually not a threat. To not be able to break through to the universe level in a few thousand years, that's not a genius at all. Their comprehension and other aspects are definitely very weak. Your biggest weakness is, your training time is too short. You've trained till now, it hasn't even been 30 years. Luo Feng was silent. Of course, willpower, domain, origin law comprehension, these three added together, you're indeed very strong, at least sweeping through the geniuses of the Black Dragon Mountain star field, no problem. The universe's top 1,000, that's too far away. You just have to fight your way into the Ganwu universe country's top 1,000, and that'll be considered a success. Babata said. When the news of the genius battle caused Luo Feng and his brothers to be in a mess, at this time, in the vast universe's countless galaxies, there were trillions of star-level humans that yearned for the genius battle. This was a vast god country. Within the god country floated many flame mountains. At this time, a red-haired figure, his entire body bathed in flames, about 7 m tall, stood in mid-air. Beside him stood sector lords, and in front of him knelt over 1,000 star-level youths. You all are the most elite disciples of my sky-fire god country. A voice that was as majestic as thunder resounded within the ears of the 1,000 youths. As long as any one of you can pass the initial selection and enter the arena battles, then I'll take him in as a personal disciple. If he can make it into the universe country's top 1,000, I'll give him a galaxy as his territory. The god within the flames said coldly, Right now, go prepare, don't disappoint me. Yes, god leader. Over 1,000 youths replied respectfully. On your bodies lies the glory of my Black Dragon Mountain Empire. A low hoarse voice resounded. In the sacred ground Black Dragon Mountain, a tall and muscular man clad in black scale armor with a black dragon horn on his forehead stood there. The space around him froze and the world overlords in the surroundings were all extremely respectful. Before this existence, these world overlords basically didn't dare to show the slightest bit of disrespect. Just the power he emitted was enough to make one's heart tremble. Go, fight for the glory of my Black Dragon Mountain. The gigantic deity that seemed to be able to split heaven and earth apart said. Yes, god leader. Close to 1,000 star-level youths knelt there, extremely respectful, their expressions excited. Amongst them, it was their first time seeing the legendary founding emperor of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the great undying being. A green-colored planet, the entire planet was filled with lush vegetation, with many aboriginals living there. This planet didn't seem to have any traces of technology or civilization. On this planet, the fighters were extremely strong, even giving birth to tens of universe levels. The number of star levels was even more shocking. A planet with such a strong military force should have entered space civilization a long time ago. Unless its geographical location was really too remote. Or maybe it was an absolute warrior's territory. A few warriors would specially nurture a few planets, allowing them to not be invaded by technology. 100 star level 9 fighters, spirit readers, in a while they will surround and attack you. A white-robed bald old man said slowly. Beside him stood a well-built young man in white who carried a blood-red longsword on his back. Yes. The white-robed youth nodded. Immediately in the distance a group of star-level 9 fighters and spirit readers flew over, immediately surrounding the white-robed youth. Normally when one fought against many, one would rely on their techniques to dodge, allowing themselves to only face a few opponents in a short period of time. Like this, being surrounded and attacked, it was considered suicidal. Do it. The white-robed bald old man ordered indifferently. Rumble. The 100 star level 9 fighters and spirit readers surrounding the white-robed youth made their moves at the same time, maybe using spirit weapons, spirit attacks, or even swords and blades to attack. Hua! A blood-red sword light flashed. The white-robed youth's body became blurry, and around him appeared many images of the white-robed youth. Pooh! 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 Fresh blood splattered. The 100 people's bodies were either split apart or their heads flew in an instant. They were all killed. Very good. The white-robed old man's eyes gleamed. You've improved from before. You're the most outstanding genius I've seen in all the trillions of galaxies I've roamed. The white-robed youth's body trembled, his cold eyes looking at the white-robed bald, his eyes filled with shock. Teacher, you just… How long had it been, ever since he followed this incomparably strong warrior? He had never heard such obvious praise. At most it was still alright or average or something along those lines. Teacher doesn't have much to teach you, the white-robed old man said. Teacher, The white-robed youth wanted to say something, but he, who wasn't good with words, didn't know what to say. Go participate in the Universe Genius Battle. With your strength, entering the Universe Top 1000 would be easy. In the Virtual Universe Company, where the strong are as common as the clouds, only then will you be able to find a suitable teacher to teach a genius like you. The white-robed bald said, Wait till you reach undying, then find a teacher. Who? The white-robed bald old man vanished in mid-air. Teacher. The white-robed youth wanted to say something, but stopped abruptly, saying softly, Genius battle? Genius battle? The entire universe's many universe countries? A young man with messy hair, 3 m tall, barefooted, walked with big steps on a desolate mountain range, carrying a short blade on his back, laughing heartily. Interesting, I too man, haven't met a worthy opponent in a very very long time. And behind him in the distance was the corpse of a universe level 1 warrior. In the vast universe, the various universe countries, countless god countries, and many famous absolute geniuses, along with many bitter trainers, wandering fighters etc., countless geniuses all noticed this super genius battle that covered the entire universe countries. There was no first in literature, no second in martial arts. The more talented one was, the more they wouldn't submit to others. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay Little District. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God looked at the screen. Second brother, third brother, do you want to participate? Hong looked at Luo Feng and Thunder God. Luo Feng and Thunder God looked at Hong, their eyes filled with a thirst for battle. The three immediately laughed. Ha ha! Let us 3 brothers go and stake it all. The 3 brothers from Earth were filled with confidence and pride. Chapter 397. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God opened a screen before them, entering the Virtual Universe Company's registration page. At the very top of the page was a very obvious number. 194-859-3889. After a few seconds, the number immediately jumped up by a huge chunk, becoming 200-829-9173. Beside this number was a line of universe language words Ganwu Universe Country Registrants. There are so many registrants. Thunder God was shocked. It is a lot. Luo Feng looked carefully. That's right, there are over 2 billion people. When I entered the killing fields to train, I didn't see this announcement. When I came out, there was already this announcement. After that I immediately came to look for you guys. It definitely hasn't been that long. Thunder God exclaimed, during the time I was training, there were actually so many registrants. The entire Ganwu Universe country has over 100 million galaxies. Luo Feng smiled before beginning the registration. I still have to fill in the registration form? Luo Feng looked at the screen before him, helpless. He could only swiftly fill in the form and click the registration button. Scan complete, Star Level 7 Spirit Reader, registration passed. Through the Virtual Universe Network, the part connected to the network could scan a person's strength. From this one could confirm. The registrant was a star level. Luo Feng and the other 2 signed up on the same day, however there was still about a month before the entire humanity of the universe, the Genius Battle registration deadline. In the following period of time, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God naturally made use of every second to work hard and raise their own strength. No one wanted to be eliminated the moment they entered. Whether it was Luo Feng, Hong, or Thunder God, they all had their own pride. No one would easily admit defeat, to make them submit? Then they would fight. Time passed, under the watch of many universe countries and countless galaxies. The genius battle registration finally ended. This day, according to China's time, was year 2066, April 16th. Luo Feng, there's mail. Punk, there's mail. Master, there's mail. On Earth, Luo Feng, Thunder God, and Hong received the notification at the same time, immediately entering the Virtual Universe network. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay District. Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God simultaneously appeared at the entrance of their own homes. The three looked at each other and smiled. Daddy. Little Hai excitedly pounced at Luo Feng. Daddy, why are you here? I haven't seen you in a long time. Come, sit on Daddy's lap. Luo Feng sat on a chair to the side and hugged his son on his lap. He then pointed towards the air in front of him, and a screen automatically appeared. He quickly opened the mail he just received. This selection battle, there are over 822. 5 billion star levels from the Ganwu universe. This time's selection battle, within the Ganwu universe country, there are over 822. 5 billion star levels participating, 110 billion more than the last time. This is something our virtual universe company is extremely happy about. We guarantee the genius selection battle will be conducted under an absolutely fair situation. Because the applicants ranged from star level 1 and 2 to star level 8 and 9. Hence, for the sake of fairness and to select the true geniuses, the true elimination battle arena would be held within the virtual universe. When the Star Clan Empire Star Stage Battle, all you star, all universe level. Star everyone, God Empire, star level, all everyone, all, star everyone, all of the participants had the same physique, and they could choose their appearance. You can choose any type of genetic energy weapon or spirit weapon, no more than 10. Reminder to participants, even though the 4th and 5th level spirit weapons are powerful, the weak are unable to use them. You can choose any grade of genetic energy weapon, spirit weapon, no more than 10. Remind participants, even though level 4 and 5 spirit weapons are powerful, if you are weak, you won't be able to use them. Genius Selection Battle. It tested willpower, domain, experience, origin law comprehension, etc. The external conditions were the same for everyone. This time's Genius Selection Battle is split into 2 big stages. The first stage is to select the top 1,000 warriors from the various universe countries. The second stage is to gather the top 1,000 warriors from the various universe countries. All the geniuses from the various universe countries will gather together for the final battle, deciding the universe's top 1,000, of which the largest scale is the first stage. The universe country you are from is the Ganwu universe country. The Ganwu universe country has over 822. 5 billion participants. They will be split into elimination and arena battles. After the elimination, out of the 822, 5 billion participants, only 100,100 will be left. As there are too many eliminated people, the elimination will be extremely bloody. The Ganwu universe country's elimination will first be split into 100 worlds in the virtual universe. Every world will have 2 billion participants. 2 billion people will fight and kill each other in the same world, killing others to earn points. The more you kill, the more points you get. Everyone only has one life. Once you die, it will end. The time limit is up. Looking at the final point rankings, those ranked in the top 1,001 of the world will be considered to have passed the elimination. Every world will choose 1,001 people, 100 worlds, that means 100,100 people will be chosen. At the same time, every world's number 1 in terms of points won't have to fight in the arena battles, directly obtaining 100 of the top 1,000 spots. The remaining 900 spots will be fought for by the 100,000 people in the arena battles. This letter has an attachment. More detailed information can be found in the attachment. After reading this letter and the attachment, Luo Feng couldn't help but feel a heavy pressure. The elimination is crazy. To make 2 billion people go on a killing spree in one world, killing for points, ranking according to the points. Second brother, third brother, this pinnacle genius battle is ruthless. Just one elimination will eliminate over 800 billion people to only 100,100. Hong smiled. This will make everyone go on a killing spree. I can imagine that scene. It will be a world of blood and corpses, a crazy world. There are too many people, hence they'll use this method. Thunder God smiled. I'm looking forward to it. Luo Feng smiled, his eyes filled with a thirst for blood. Right now, Luo Feng would occasionally enter the killing fields, setting up a large group of opponents to go on a killing spree. That bloodthirst that permeated his soul, Luo Feng could only rely on this method to vent it. And this elimination to make 2 billion people go on a killing spree in one world. Out of the three, the one who looked forward to it the most was actually Luo Feng. Kill. Luo Feng could almost see the scene of him killing 10 people in one step. It was really satisfying. After the registration period ended, the virtual universe company began to prepare. The preparation was indeed very complicated, however the virtual universe company's efficiency was extremely high. 1 month after the registration period ended, China time was May 16, 2066. This day was the gathering day of the Ganwu Universe country's elimination. You all better watch closely, pay close attention to the constantly changing point rankings. Some of the absolute geniuses our organization might not be able to poach, the weaker ones are fine too. Our Ganwu Universe country has a total of 100 elimination regions. Every region to be able to make it into the top 10,000 are considered very powerful. Pay close attention to the changes. This is the best opportunity to absorb the elite. Every time the rankings change, we'll do some calculations. Regarding the information of the elites and geniuses, we'll collect and store them. In the future, large amounts of our Ganwu Universe country's sector lords and domain lords will be amongst them. You are all the elites of our Nuland Shan family's younger generation. I don't dare hope that you will be able to make it through the elimination. However, whoever can make it into the top 10,000 in their own elimination region, that will be our Nuland Shan family's next family leader. That will be my Nuland Shan's next clan leader. Nuland Shan was currently in front of over 1,000 youths, full of anticipation as he spoke. Today we'll begin the gathering for the elimination. The God Leader is filled with anticipation for everyone, don't disappoint him. In the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain, a group of sector lords were speaking to a large group of disciples. You are the future elites of our Ganwu Universe country, the future pillars. I hope that you all within the 100,100 spots, you all will take at least half of it. A deep voice that caused the heavens and earth to tremble reverberated in a part of the universe. In this part of the universe, a giant whose face could not be seen clearly stood in the void. The space around him was faintly distorted, and in the distance in front of the giant were countless young people who could not be seen with a single glance. All the youths respectfully knelt down. Beside this giant whose voice made one's heart tremble, one after another powerful undying existences all stood respectfully around him. Every undying had a heart-palpitating aura, and with a glance, there were at least over 1,000 undyings standing around. Go, children. The thick voice caused the space to tremble, causing everyone's soul to tremble. Yes, country leader. Over 100 million star-level youths were incredibly respectful and excited as they knelt down. They didn't expect that this time they would actually be able to see the legendary being, the one who built the Ganwu Universe country, the one who had unimaginable powers, the country leader of the Ganwu Universe country. And this position, the country leader had sat in for over 1 trillion years. Who? The space ahead warped, over 100 million star-level youths instantly vanished. This unbelievable power made the 1,000 undying standing respectfully beside tremble. Countless people were paying close attention to the genius selection battle. And on this day, China time, May 16th, a large number of participants began to gather. Over 820 billion people, on average in each galaxy of the Ganwu universe country. There weren't even 10,000 people in each galaxy. One had to know that there were tens of thousands of star level 9 warriors in each galaxy, much less level 1 to 9 added together. This meant that those who dared to sign up had some confidence. Over 820 billion people. Some had miraculous encounters. Some had extremely strong talents. Some met good teachers. Some had the heart of a strong warrior. Anyway, there were all sorts of them. They all thought they were very strong. Including Luo Feng and the other two, the Ganwu universe country. These 820 billion star-level warriors were all gathered together. The elimination will be split into 100 worlds. I'm Sector 72, second and third brother. What about you? Haha, I'm Sector 88, I like this number. Third brother, what about you? I'm Sector 1. Chapter 398. First Sector, a good omen. Thunder God smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng looked at his surroundings. With a glance, he saw many silhouettes dressed in all sorts of clothing. The taller ones were over 10 m, while the shorter ones were not even 1 m. They were all discussing in groups of 3 to 5. How many people were there in the entire continent? Without even counting, there were over 820 billion. Over 800 billion people gathered together. What kind of scene was that? Everyone, please pay attention. The elimination will be divided into 100 world zones. You will be teleported to your assigned world zones immediately. Please make use of the time to check your equipment. The moment the elimination begins, you will no longer be able to request for weapons. A clear voice resounded throughout the entire continent. Luo Feng looked down at himself. He was wearing a dark gray level 2 genetic energy armor, a helmet, boots, and a space ring in his hand. Like the shield, genetic energy blade, soaring shuttle, Nanshin armament, they were all stored within. The weapons simulated in the virtual universe, when used, were exactly the same as in reality. Beginning collective teleportation, countdown, 60, 59, 58. The clear voice resounded throughout the entire continent. Within the ocean of people, Luo Feng and the other two exchanged glances. Good luck. Luo Feng smiled. Let's pass the elimination together. Thunder God smiled too. Good luck. Hong smiled too. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transfer. That clear universal language reverberated in the ears of the more than 800 billion people gathered on the continent. Then, in an instant, everyone on the continent disappeared. At the same time, within the virtual universe, within the 100 individual worlds, there were over 2 billion people within them. Universe humans. The pinnacle genius battle, all the universe countries simultaneously began the elimination round. As a grand event for humanity, from the high and mighty undyings to the normal universe citizens that could enter the virtual universe network, everyone was paying attention to this event. Of course, as the strong warriors of the Ganwu universe country, citizens, they naturally paid attention to their own universe country's elimination round. 1 SD sector. During the teleportation, Luo Feng felt his vision blur. After about 3 seconds, everything became clear. This was a normal living room. He was standing in this living room, beside it was a bedroom and washroom. This is the first sector? What an amazing gravitational force. Standing in the living room, that powerful gravitational force made Luo Feng feel uncomfortable, after which he lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. This screen automatically received information from the organizer, the Virtual Universe Company. On the screen, there were densely packed words. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 0 ranking. None World Zone, First World Zone time. The preliminaries will last for 30 days. When the time is up, the entire preliminaries will end, and the final winner will be determined based on the final score. Note: the First World, a continent modeled after the appearance of the Ganwu Universe country's Bei Luo planet. The entire continent had a total of 91 cities, as well as wilderness and mountains. The land area was 13 million square kilometers. The First World area's buildings, ground, and many other objects had a hardness of B9. Points rule: kill a player and you will get 1 point. At the same time, you will also get half of the opponent's points. Therefore, killing experts could earn more points. Ranking rules: the dead still have a ranking. If the points are high enough, even if the death preliminaries are terminated and half of the points are lost, it is still possible to be ranked in the top 1001. So please hurry up. A serious reminder: everyone only has 1 life. After death, the preliminaries will be terminated and half of the points will be lost. Below is a detailed ranking list. Luo Feng stood in the living room and finished reading the information sent by the Virtual Universe Company. He couldn't help but take in a deep breath. Only 13 million square kilometers? China's territory is already 9.6 million square kilometers. With over 8.2 billion warriors gathered in such a small area, the population density is simply too high. Feeling the gravity. This world's gravity was even more exaggerated than the world within a world, at least 10,000 times that of Earth's gravity. This cup. Luo Feng picked up a teacup from the dining table in the living room. With a bit of force, the teacup made a chi-chi-chi-chi sound and started to crack. This made Luo Feng shocked. What shocking hardness and toughness! The information was correct. The materials of the house, ground, etc. are all B9 grade. After which, Luo Feng gently put down the cup. Under the gravity that was tens of thousands of times that of Earth, he gently walked to the balcony like a cat. He looked outside through the balcony. Outside it was a bustling city. There were many skyscrapers and even more shocking skyscrapers. The entire city was silent, without a single sign of life. Everyone has just arrived. They are probably still in the midst of their preparations. Luo Feng thought. Rumble! A huge sound suddenly resounded from the distance. Luo Feng was shocked as he looked over, only to see a skyscraper in the distance had a layer of glass violently shatter. 2 silhouettes broke through the glass and floated in mid-air as they battled. The moment they made their moves, almost instantly the entire city resounded with all sorts of rumbles. Every one of them had a star level 9 body. If this was on a normal planet, a star level 9 could easily destroy an entire city. This was also the reason why the Virtual Universe Company had specially set this world's buildings and materials to be 9 grade. This way, it would at least allow this world to withstand 8.2 billion star level 9s battling for a month. Have they made their moves? Luo Feng squinted, immediately returning to his own house. Pung! The door was ferociously kicked open, and the alloy door was kicked out of shape. A tall and sturdy man walked into the room. His entire body was covered in genetic armor, helmet, and boot. He held an axe in each hand. When he saw Luo Feng, he cracked a smile. You're the first. Rumble! The tall and sturdy man rushed forward. His boots stomped fiercely, causing the outer layer of the living room to crack open. After which, the axe in his left hand drew an arc, tearing through the air as it headed straight for Luo Feng. Humph! Luo Feng's gaze was cold. The soaring shuttle that floated beside him immediately shot out a series of flashes of the blade, forming a golden fish. Compared to 3 years ago when he was dominating the killing fields, the current Luo Feng controlled the swordfish formation, was like a real fish, seemingly without any threat, however. The golden fish swayed on the axe. This golden swordfish immediately slashed past the tall and sturdy man's head. The tall and sturdy man's eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. his mouth slightly opened, almost as though he wanted to say something. Chi. His skull exploded, after which the tall and sturdy man fell to the ground, the axe in his hand smashed into the living room floor, causing the tiles to tremble. These past few days, I've been madly using the Nanshan armament. Now that I'm using the soaring shuttle, it really does feel very relaxed and simple. Luo Feng smiled, lifting a 100 kilograms man time and time again. When he lifted a 10 kilograms man, he felt extremely relaxed. Luo Feng felt that way. The difficulty of using the soaring shuttle wasn't even 1,000th of the Nanshan armament. Points. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. The words on it had already changed. Participant. Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 1 rank. 696034836 inch. The entire elimination will last for a month, and at the beginning, because there are too many people, the battles will be extremely intense. On the contrary, towards the end, there will be fewer people. Those who can survive till the end will all have very high points. When that time comes, killing one person will be more effective than killing 100 now. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, and no matter how powerful a warrior is, he's still afraid of being surrounded. Being surrounded by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of warriors of the same level, no matter how powerful he is, he'll still die. For now, I'll stay low profile and familiarize myself with my strength. Luo Feng immediately left the house, swiftly heading down the stairs, sweeping through level by level. Along the way, he met 9 opponents. Even though their talents were not bad, one of them was even a spirit reader. His control over spirit weapons was comparable to Luo Feng's from 3 years ago. It was a pity. The current Luo Feng was extremely powerful. His most shocking improvement was in these 3 years. From never having a domain, to stepping into a domain level 5, and also stepping into the gold origin laws, this made Luo Feng's strength rise to a terrifying level. Even Hong and Thunder God were far from Luo Feng's match. Using the soaring shuttle, the formation of the swordfish was infused with the mysteries of the origin laws. Its power was shocking. Destroying these opponents was indeed very simple. After all, even Babata felt that Luo Feng could be called the number 1 in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This residential building has a total of 4 units, a total of 41 opponents, all killed. Luo Feng sat cross-legged in a normal tea room within this 12-story residential building. A golden blade revolved around him. Right, this golden blade was the Nanshan armament's first form, the illusion blade form. During the 2 months after the registration, Luo Feng had spent all his time and effort on this, finally being able to barely unleash it before the elimination. This illusion blade form, I'm still not familiar with it. I can only barely unleash it, unable to unleash its full power. And the soaring shuttle's swordfish formation, I've already familiarized it to the max, unleashing its full power. Now, I have to focus on the illusion blade form, familiarize myself with it, and train it to the point where I can do as I please. Luo Feng thought to himself. This misty golden blade that contained a power that made one's heart palpitate continuously revolved around Luo Feng. At this time, this rotation was rather rigid. The elimination round was in the first world. Luo Feng had taken over this residential building, first perfecting the illusion blade form and strengthening his move. Now was the start. It wasn't time to go on a killing spree. Chapter 399. In the first world, all the participants could only fly up to a height of about 9,000 meters above the ground. Any higher and there would be an invisible barrier that obstructed them. Above the barrier, many flying ships were slowly flying past. In one of the flying ships, Luo Hongguo, Gong Xianlan, Su Xian, Xiao Ping, and Su Xian's family were in a single room. There was also Su Xian's brother, Su Gang's family. The genius battle actually isn't being broadcasted. Su Gang exclaimed, to watch the elimination battles, one has to come to this world and sit in a ship to watch from above. And the fees are so expensive. Big brother, it's normal that they aren't broadcasted. Su Xian smiled. 2 billion people battle, how do they broadcast it? Through the external simulation. Su Xian and the others lowered their heads and could see below the bloody battles that were happening in the cities of the continent. It could also be zoomed in, allowing one to clearly see the appearance of each and every one of the participants on the continent below. Of course, if the opponent was hiding within a building, they wouldn't be able to see. Mom, Dad's ranking has been dropping. Little Hai bit his lips. In his hand was a screen, on it were 3 rankings. They were the first world, 72nd world and 88th world. It locked onto Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God within these 3 worlds. Luo Feng's ranking had been dropping. Big Uncle's ranking is dropping too. However, Second Uncle's ranking is rising. Little Hai said, Second Uncle's rise is incredible. He's already in the top 100,000. My dad and Big Uncle are both below 10 million. What do you know, this is called conserving strength. Little Ping said. Little Hai stared at him. 2 billion people below, who's a match for my dad? Is there a need to conserve strength? Haha, beside him, his grandfather and grandmother all laughed out loud. That's a big deal. Su Gang laughed too. Come, Little Hai, sit on Uncle's lap. No. Little Hai lowered his head, looking at the screen in his hand. Luo Feng and Hong's rankings were indeed very low, not at all eye-catching. 100 worlds were simultaneously undergoing the elimination. As there wasn't a broadcast, the entire Ganwu universe country, from the upper echelon to the normal citizens, countless people spent money to sit in ships and watch from above the 100 world. In the air above the 61st world, in a beautiful universe ship, there was a group of young men and women holding glasses of wine and eating delicacies, watching the battle through the external simulation. Haha, the number 1 is even a starfield directly under our universe country. A 3-meter tall, muscular man dressed in luxurious robes laughed heartily while holding a wine glass. Oh, tisk tsk. Luo 2 Air, your Pring Feather Empire's results are not bad. Some of the top 100 are from your empire. Thank you for your praise, Your Highness. A man with a braid and a strange jade embedded in his forehead smiled. The Ping Feather Empire has always been one of the many subordinate countries under our Ganwu Universe country, producing the most fighters. Oh right, Luo Tuer, I heard that your empire is preparing to make you the first successor to the throne? I've heard about it too. Luo Tuer, don't forget about us after you become the emperor of the Ping Feather Empire. Luo Tu Air. The young man called Luo Tu Air smiled and shook his head. These are all rumors, it hasn't been confirmed yet. No matter what, we can't compare to Your Highness. Your Highness, you are the only son of the Cauldron Marquis, you will definitely inherit the title in the future. The territory of the Cauldron Marquis is 10 times larger than our empire. The 3-meter-tall muscular man couldn't help but smile when he heard this. The Ganwu Universe country had a vast territory, and the highest position was without a doubt the country leader. Below the country leader were the powerful warriors who had been bestowed the title of official. To be able to become officials in the Ganwu Universe country, most of them were undying beings. These officials, their territories weren't any less than those middle-level civilized countries. Some were even bigger. Buluolin, how come I don't see anyone from your Black Dragon Mountain Empire? The prince looked at the distant Buluolin. Yes, Buluolin. The last time the Black Dragon Mountain Empire didn't seem to have a single person enter the top 10,000. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's recent performances have been poor. These people were either the princes and princesses of the subordinate countries, or the princes of the Ganwu Universe country, or the young masters of the large families. Within the virtual universe, they were often in the same circle. Buluolin, as the strongest prince of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, was also one of them. Right now many of the strong ones aren't in a rush to act. Maybe after a period of time, A strong one will appear in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Am I right, Buluolin? Luo Tu Air smiled at Buluolin. Buluolin squeezed out a smile. It's only just started, it's hard to say. Buluolin was feeling extremely embarrassed. In the universe, such a sense of regional honor, empire honor, was usually very strong. If an absolute warrior were to appear in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, then the entire empire would feel proud. The other starfields and countries would also look at them in a different light. Within a single room of a ship observing the battle, there was only one person inside. Nulan Shan, head ancestor of the participating disciples of the family. Only 83 are still alive, the rest have been killed. At the start, the population density was too high, the killing was too crazy, there was no way to escape. Now there are 83 people, the highest ranked is around 1,300,000. Looking at the news on the screen, Nulan Shan's expression was ugly. A bunch of trash. Nulan Shan shook his head, however, it's still far from the end, let's watch, let's hope they can give me a surprise. The first world, it was still that residential building. Within one of the normal rooms, Luo Feng was still sitting cross-legged, staring at the golden illusory blade before him. This blurry blade was formed from a large amount of golden threads and 9 little golden blades. It was moving in a H shape in front of Luo Feng. Its speed was extremely fast. Absorb. Luo Feng's thoughts move. The golden illusory blade immediately disintegrated, becoming a golden beam of light that flew back into the dark golden long rod on his leg. Luo Feng too felt a little tired. Controlling the Nanshin armament was much more taxing than controlling the soaring shuttle. However, its power was indeed shocking. Luo Feng quietly sat cross-legged for about an hour, recovering his energy. It's been 10 days. The first world's elimination has already been going on for 10 days. These 10 days, I've been staying in this residential building. Even if someone enters, I'm too lazy to make a move, unless they get close to my room. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. It displayed his current point. Participant, Luo Feng points. 92 rank. 6894248 inch. There are more than 60 million people higher than me? Luo Feng smiled. 10 days, a third of the elimination has passed. The craziest period has already passed. Those that have survived till now are all powerful. These 10 days, I've already familiarized myself with the illusory blade, and my spirit energy has already formed the Void Pagoda in my consciousness. The Void Pagoda was a secret technique, however this technique wasn't created by the Unmo Planet Master. Back when he died, he didn't even manage to train this technique to its highest level. Within the virtual universe, one could use this technique. Using about 9 days of time, Luo Feng finally formed the Void Pagoda in his consciousness. It was just a 1-level pagoda, however even so, it caused his soul defense to rise by a lot, plus his shocking willpower. That was the willpower of a universe level 6 golden horned beast. There weren't many opponents of the same level that could compare to it. Right now. It's done. The massacre begin. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with a glint. He stood up and walked out of his house, very quickly leaving the apartment through the stairs. The small district where the apartment was located was extremely beautiful, however the ground was littered with glass shards, dried blood stains and corpses. For the sake of realism, if someone was killed, the corpse would still be preserved. Walking on the grass patch of the district, Luo Feng's spiritual force swept outwards. Because the gravity here was ridiculously strong, his spiritual force could at most cover around 800 meters. However, 800 meters was enough for Luo Feng to search half of this small district. With this sweep of his spiritual force, 6 silhouettes swiftly rushed out of the surrounding residential buildings. Friend, to be able to live for 10 days, you aren't an idiot. You actually dare to use your spirit energy to scan. Looks like you're very confident. The 6 silhouettes dispersed. One of them was a dark, skinny youth who laughed coldly. In his hand was a blood-colored scimitar. 6. Luo Feng's gaze swept past the 6 before him. To be able to survive till now, these 6 probably all had more points than him. Do it! Among the 6, one of the youths dressed in a black genetic energy uniform roared. At the same time, a formless spiritual attack pierced into Luo Feng's consciousness. To be able to survive till now in the first world, these were all considered geniuses. In a galaxy, they would be considered the top 3 geniuses in their respective galaxies. Luo Feng's spirit energy swept outwards. It was a provocation. Now that one of them had said to make a move, the other 5 naturally made their moves at the same time. Rumble! Rumble! 2 young men with almost identical appearances charged over with a sharp sword in their hands at the same time. Xiao! Xiao! A silver light and a gold light shot over from afar. Qi, the black genetic energy armored youth's spirit attack from before directly attacked Luo Feng's soul. However, in Luo Feng's consciousness, the huge void pagoda only trembled slightly, easily blocking it. Luo Feng himself stood on the soaring shuttle, golden light revolving around him. With just a flash, he easily dodged the opponent's attack. Domain. His domain is extremely strong. The expressions of the 6 changed. With his domain at level 5, along with the soaring shuttle's gold origin laws as the main element, with Luo Feng's current level of origin law comprehension, unleashing the soaring shuttle's speed was even faster and more unpredictable. Dodging these attacks was indeed very easy. Die. Luo Feng's thoughts move. Xiao. A golden fish flew out of the soaring shuttle at an astonishing speed. It faintly contained a trace of strange and mysterious laws. It drew a large arc in the air and instantly swept past the 6 people. A series of low groans rang out on the spot. At the same time, there was the sound of weapons colliding with the golden fish. There's actually one that didn't die. Luo Feng looked at the dark skinny youth. The other 5 had already fallen dead. The skinny youth wielded a blood-colored scimitar, staring at Luo Feng, licking his lips. At this time, the screen on Luo Feng's wrist jumped again. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points, 8162 rank, 122912 ***. There was still the 3rd chapter. My God, he was late again. Chapter 400. Beside the grass patch were 5 corpses. Luo Feng's strength caused the skinny youth's heart to go cold. He stared hard at Luo Feng. Too strong. Laws. Yes, laws. He had already comprehended a trace of the origin laws of the universe. What should I do? What should I do? My points aren't even in the top 1001. If I die, I'll be done for. He's a spirit reader, and has a flying-type spirit weapon. Flying is much faster than running. I can't escape even if I want to. Many thoughts flashed through the dark-skinned youth's mind. Friend. The skinny youth growled, I misjudged you. You're actually an expert who has stepped through the threshold of the laws of origin. Perhaps I have the information you need. As long as you let me live, I'll tell you. Information? Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle and stared at the skinny youth. Yes, information. There are a total of 91 cities in the first world, and each city has close to 100 million participants. The skinny youth looked at Luo Feng. After 10 days, every city has a few extremely famous absolute warriors. If you encounter those super experts, you should avoid them. I'll tell you some of the absolute warriors in our city, and you'll let me live. The skinny youth stared at Luo Feng, not daring to relax at all. Absolute warrior? Luo Feng smiled. Yes, it's too late to regret now that we've run into an iron plate, the lean youth said. Haha, Luo Feng smiled as he looked at the skinny youth. This city, and even the first world. No one has ever made me afraid. The skinny teenager's expression changed. Boom. The skinny youth stomped on the grass, causing it to explode. He turned into a black shadow and directly arrived in front of Luo Feng. A hazy wave of blood surrounded the skinny youth, and then wrapped around the scimitar in his hand. The scimitar slashed towards Luo Feng at an astonishing speed. Quick, sly, ruthless. Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle and drew a golden arc as he dodged far away. Xiao! The golden fish happily left Luo Feng's side and flew towards the skinny youth. In the blink of an eye, it arrived before the skinny youth. Clang! The skinny young man moved like a ghost and blocked the golden swordfish with his blood-red sword light. I hate spirit readers like this the most. The skinny youth's heart was filled with hatred, stepping on the spirit weapon to make it impossible for others to catch up, and even controlling the weapon to attack from afar. Bastard! He was completely immersed in the control of his domain, using all his strength to block the seemingly harmless golden fish again and again. Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle. His strength is quite strong, about a level 4 domain. Break! Luo Feng's expression was serious. His powerful consciousness poured into the golden swordfish. Under his full control, that thread of origin law and the golden swordfish fused even more perfectly. Its agility and speed immediately rose by a level. There was a huge difference in power between controlling it at full power and controlling it casually. Pooh! A ray of golden light slid past the scimitar of the skinny youth and directly pierced through his forehead, leaving a deep hole. His eyes were wide open, and there was a trace of unwillingness in them. Putong, the skinny youth's body fell onto the grass patch. Luo Feng walked over and looked down, saying softly, "Your strength is quite strong, your domain has even caught up to my second brother. Only his movement technique is slightly inferior to my second brother's. Everything else is about the same. However, it's a pity you met me, hence you're dead." The strong had absolute confidence. Luo Feng just relied on his consciousness strength and origin law comprehension to kill his opponent. He didn't even unleash his domain when he attacked from afar. The current Luo Feng was extremely strong. Babata also believed that Luo Feng would work hard to make it into the Ganwu Universe country's top 1,000, to be able to have the strength of the top 1,000 out of the trillions of geniuses in a universe country. It meant that he had the strength of the top 10 in his own world. Normally, the higher one was, the smaller the difference in strength. Even if one was weaker than the opponent, they would still be able to fight it out. Luo Feng said in the entire first world, there was nothing he feared, it was because of his confidence. There's quite a lot of points. Luo Feng looked down. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points, 15921 rank, 62912 killing now is so satisfying. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with excitement. At the start, killing one person was only 1 point. Now killing one can get me thousands of points, it's so satisfying. Warrior, a genius warrior from over 100 million galaxies in the Ganwu universe country. Then let's kill. Let's hope there's someone who can force me to unleash my domain. Luo Feng thought. Even though the 6 opponents before were considered strong, with one even close in strength to his second brother Thunder God, stepping through the gateway of the origin laws had indeed raised his strength by a lot. These people couldn't force Luo Feng to go all out. Luo Feng carried his blade and shield on his back, walking in this silent city filled with corpses. His spirit energy swept about, searching for the survivors, after which he began a bloody massacre. Fresh blood splattered. Heads flew. His rank continued to rise. In the air above the first world, above the barrier. Within a single room in a universe ship, Luo Feng's family was gathered. Mom, Dad's rank is soaring. He just rushed to rank 120,000. Little Hai excitedly passed the screen to Su Xian beside. Luo Hongguo and Gong Xian Lan sitting on the sofa were shocked as they opened their own screens, exclaiming out loud, "It's true, he rushed up so much in one go. I told you, Big Uncle and my dad are conserving their strength." Little Ping said, "Yesterday Big Uncle began to show his power. He's already rushed up to rank 10,000. My dad won't be too far behind." "Look, your dad has risen again. He's already at rank 60,000. Luo Hongwa couldn't help but exclaim. What, in just a few words, he went from 120,000 to 60,000. Su Gang exclaimed. Look, it's still rising. Dad's rank is constantly rising. He's almost at rank 40,000, wow, over 30,000, he's already made it to rank 30,000. Little Hai was extremely excited. The entire room was filled with people holding their breath. It was too crazy. His points rose, it seemed to be rising every minute. What did this mean? It meant Luo Feng was killing people every minute. This was simply a massacre. Elimination Day 12, First World. The wind howled, the stench of blood permeated the air. On the cracked streets, Luo Feng carried his blade and shield as he walked silently. The streets were completely empty. Madman, that's a madman. It's him? I heard in a short 2 days he killed hundreds of warriors in our East District? Right, it's him. He doesn't even bother with reason, he kills whoever he meets anyway, he just kills, kill. And his strength is terrifyingly strong. In the distant skyscraper, 2 of his companions were looking through the glass at Luo Feng walking on the streets below. This city was extremely huge, much bigger than Earth's headquarters cities. After all, close to 100 million participants were planted here. Luo Feng had been killing in the East District for the past 2 days, killing a few hundred people. One had to know that these few hundred weren't the first few hundred, they were all warriors who had survived the bloody battle. All of them were true geniuses. All of them could be considered the strongest in the galaxy. It was a pity. Luo Feng could be considered the strongest in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield, and he had the qualifications to make it to the top 1,001 warriors of the universe country. Naturally he would sweep through them. Luo Feng stood on the street that was filled with the stench of blood, looking at the shopping center ahead. His spirit energy swept past, and he clearly discovered 3 people within. Luo Feng stood silently on the street for a few seconds. In theory, with his spirit energy sweeping past, the other party would sense it and usually come out. However, these 3 didn't come out. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, shouting coldly, "Come out!" His voice rumbled, resounding throughout the street. "Madman! We don't want to mess with you, don't go overboard." A universe language roar resounded from within. "Madman!" A low roar resounded. Being in the top 1,001 of this first world means you've passed the elimination. It should be easy for you to reach the top 1,001. There's no need to go overboard. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Many surviving geniuses, especially those with similar levels of strength, would usually form temporary alliances. "I'll let you guys come out or I'll go in," Luo Feng said coldly. Rumble. 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 3 silhouettes rushed out from the window of the shopping center, floating in mid-air. One of them was tall and big. His skin was yellow. The other 2 were similar in size to Luo Feng, 1 male and 1 female. These 3 looked at the black-haired youth with a blade and shield on his back, their hearts filled with rage and fear. Madman's name, in a short period of time, spread throughout the entire city. Madman, a madman with an incomparably powerful absolute warrior. The hundreds that died by his hands, none of them could match up to him. One had to know these people were all geniuses. However, comparing geniuses with geniuses, one would realize the difference between them. "Madman, we were sent by the Ganwu Universe Country's imperial family to participate, you," the tall and big man said solemnly. "Die," Luo Feng said coldly. The soaring shuttle appeared beneath his feet. "Go." The 3's expressions changed, immediately turning to flee, cursing within. "Madman, he actually doesn't even give our Ganwu Universe Country's imperial family any face." Even though there were over 800 billion people participating this time, most of them were from the various countries, starfields, organizations, or those who joined voluntarily. As for the Ganwu Universe Country's imperial family, they only sent over 100 million. However, according to the country leader's words, these 100 million people would take up more than half of the 100,000 slots. Chi. The golden swordfish swept past the tall and big man's head. He had long lost the courage to resist, and was killed in an instant. The black-clothed lady gritted her teeth. Devil will definitely kill you. Chi Luo Feng coldly killed. With the soaring shuttle's speed, Luo Feng killed 2 of them. As the 3 had split up and fled, after killing 2, he couldn't chase the 3rd. Devil? I hope he'll let me use my domain. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. Participant. Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 863829 rank. 10-12 inch. The further back I go, the slower my ranking rises. However soon, I'll make it into the top 1000 soon. Luo Feng thought. Within that beautiful ship, a group of princes, princesses and princes from the various starfields of the Ganwu universe country were chatting and laughing. Quickly look, Brolin, your Black Dragon Mountain Empire has someone who has made it into the top 1001. One of the Empire's princes shouted loudly. Brolin's eyes gleamed, looking over. Beside, on the large screen, were the Empire's names, of which the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's number of eliminated, temporarily 1, before it was still 0, now it had jumped to 1. Quickly open it, Brolin said. D. A small screen appeared beside the large screen, displaying a row of numbers. First World, rank 997, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Haha, this Luo Feng is a genius that our Black Dragon Mountain Empire has carefully nurtured, Brolin said loudly. Suddenly his heart skipped a beat. Luo Feng, why is this name? Right, that punk from the world within a world is called Luo Feng too. Could it be? No, definitely not. There are many people with the same name in the universe. Luo Feng? Haha, Buluolin, your Black Dragon Mountain Empire is not bad. At least not at the bottom. Right now, among the close to 1,000 medium-sized countries, there were still over 200 medium-sized countries that had passed the preliminaries, temporarily, had 0 spots. At the same time, many god countries, countless organizations that were paying attention to this genius battle, swiftly noted down Luo Feng's name. However, the ones who were truly excited were still the citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, and some of the higher-up. Haha, one of them made it into the top 1001. Quickly check who this Luo Feng is. Someone from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire has also charged into the top 1001. Luo Feng? I've never heard of this name. Hurry up and investigate. What's his background? After completing the 3rd chapter, I'll be asking for monthly vote. I really can't not ask for monthly vote. Monthly votes are lagging behind. Brothers, let's see if you have any monthly vote. If you do, please support us. Chapter 401. In the airspace above the 82nd world, amongst the many universe ships, there was one luxuriously decorated universe ship. Within a single room, there was a beautiful jade-haired Dream Shell Clan lady kneeling beside it, massaging a chubby youth. Young master, quickly look, someone from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire has made it into the top 1001. The Dream Shell Clan lady shouted. Woo! The chubby youth laid there and casually tapped on the screen beside him. A ranking swiftly appeared on the screen. With a look, his eyes immediately widened. Damn, there really is one. This genius fighter is actually called Luo Feng. He has the same name as a friend I met on Dragon Star. This chubby youth was Luo Feng's friend from Dragon Star, Gao Xing. Interesting, I have to tell Luo Feng. Gao Xing sent out a call request. After a while, he creased his eyebrows. He hasn't picked up? 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's weird, he's not picking up my call request. Gao Xing was curious. Young master, don't tell me the one who made it into the top 1001 can't be young master Luo Feng? The Dream Shell Clan lady smiled and said. Gao Xing waved his hand. What do you know, to be able to make it into the top 1001, he's definitely a genius amongst geniuses, and the Black Dragon Mountain star field is vast. There are countless star levels too. It's normal for people to have the same name. Within a single room, Nulan Shan's cold eyes stared at the screen. On it was Luo Feng's name. Luo Feng? Nulan Shan creased his eyebrows. This name. The elimination wasn't broadcasted. And the universe was simply too vast. The number of people couldn't be calculated. Hence it was common for people to have the same name. Let's hope it's not the Luo Feng I know. Nulan Shan creased his eyebrows, staring at the screen that caused him so much trouble. In a universe ship's luxurious and vast hall, sat a few thousand people. This group of people were the true ruling class of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the universe humanity. The pinnacle genius battle was a grand event for the entire universe humanity. It was open to all the universe countries. This sort of event that concerned the entire empire's glory. Naturally, even the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's emperor paid attention. Congratulations, Your Majesty! Your Majesty, great news! The entire spacious hall suddenly erupted into a frenzy. The important figures of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire all began to cheer out. To be able to attend such an event, other than the Empire's own nobles, sector lords, domain lords, even the 500 or so emperors of the universe low-level civilized countries, all of their statuses far exceeded that of Nulan Shan. Ha ha! The black-robed emperor let out a hearty laugh that reverberated throughout the hall. At the very front of the hall was a huge screen. On it was displayed Black Dragon Mountain Empire's number of people who passed the elimination, temporarily won, and behind it was Luo Feng's name. Luo Feng, very good. The emperor laughed happily, saying loudly, "Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire at least didn't end up last this time. This Luo Feng's contributions cannot go unnoticed. We must reward him." "Yes, I want a reward. This Luo Feng has done a great service. Your Majesty is wise." The group of nobles flattered the emperor, and their voices were like a tide. The group of emperors from low-level civilizations were all extremely passionate. "Your Majesty, there's still some time before the elimination ends. We'll only know the final results after it ends." Beside the emperor, a bald old man who seemed like a scholar said softly. This old man had 4 strange little ears behind his ears. Daring to say such dampening words when the emperor was in a good mood, this old man's position was naturally extremely high. He was one of the sector lords that attended this banquet. "HM." The emperor nodded. However, even if this Luo Feng fails later on, he still has a great service. Luo Feng didn't know that his temporary charge into the top 1001 had made many people, especially the citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, extremely proud and excited. This was like watching an international competition on Earth. With one of their own country's competitors, they would naturally be extremely excited and proud, hoping for their country's competitor to win. And the genius battle was one of the 2 biggest events of humanity in the entire universe. Its influence amongst the citizens was even more shocking. At this time, the trillions of citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire were all looking forward to Luo Feng, supporting him. One St World, one of the huge bustling cities, within a residential building's living room. Luo Feng, who didn't even know that he had attracted the attention of countless people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, was currently sitting crossed-legged in the living room recovering. Up till now, the elimination had already been going on for 18 days. These past 8 days, especially in the East District, Luo Feng's madman name had long since made many geniuses fearful and fearful. Madman. In the city Luo Feng was currently staying in, he was an absolute warrior that could rank within the top 10. Of course he had to be extremely careful with every kill. As time went on, Luo Feng would feel his spirit getting tired, and he would need to rest for a while. No matter what kind of opponent he met, Luo Feng would always try his best to maintain his peak condition. Even a lion would use its full strength to fight a rabbit. The lower the ranking, the harder it gets to rise. Luo Feng opened his eyes, his gaze focused, looking down at the screen on his wrist. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points, 3129302 rank, 398 inches. Order to ensure that they could maintain their ranking in the top 1,000, many of the experts who were ranked at the top would go on a killing spree to accumulate as many points as possible. This was especially true when super experts fought against each other. A single battle could earn them millions of points. As a result, the higher one's ranking was, the more points they would accumulate. Luo Feng went from 10 million to 997. His points increased by around 900,000. And from 997 to 398, his points increased by over 2 million. It's time to hunt. Luo Feng's gaze focused, immediately standing up. At the same time his spirit energy was like a storm that swiftly spread out, scanning the surrounding 800m area. 3 prey. So, Luo Feng jumped out from the balcony like lightning, almost like a bolt of lightning drawing a curve in mid-air outside the residential building, following which a golden fish was jumping around, as though it was incomparably joyous as it leapt out, starting to passionately kiss the prey. "It's madman! Quickly leave!" Along with the shocked roars, 2 of the warriors were immediately killed by Luo Feng. The only winged youth that flew out of the residential building was also chased by Luo Feng for a few li and killed. Night, this city had day and night. The wind howled. Luo Feng carried his blade and shield on his back, silently walking along the dried blood stains, occasionally on the cracked streets. Other than a few corpses, the only other living being was Luo Feng. Chi. His boots stepped on the rotting flesh. Luo Feng continued to walk quietly. Suddenly he stopped. His ears twitched. He could faintly hear an extremely soft sound from the distance. This made Luo Feng's cold eyes finally reveal a hint of excitement. Those that dare to come out in the night are usually the strongest amongst the strongest. Killing the absolute warriors, the efficiency is even higher. So, Luo Feng became a blur, swiftly heading towards the direction of the sound. In a short while, Luo Feng arrived at a fork in the road. Luo Feng turned his head to look. Even though it was night, a star level 9 warrior's vision was extremely shocking. He could still see a few thousand meters. If it was daytime, as long as his field of vision wasn't obstructed, he could easily see 100 kilometers away. That is, in the distant street there was a battle, or more accurately, a massacre. Purring! A spirit reader couldn't dodge in time. A black hammer smashed into his head immediately splitting apart. He died on the spot. Ha ha! A shrill laughter made one's heart palpitate. The one wielding the black hammer was a 3m tall skinny human. He had a sturdy pair of legs, and 4 thick and powerful arms. These 4 arms each wielded a black hammer, and on his face was a single eye. This eye was vertical. Looking at this person's appearance, Luo Feng, who was far away at the fork in the road, thought, "The Darkness Clan, he's devil." As one of the absolute warriors of this city, during this period of massacres, Luo Feng had some understanding of the strong warriors of this city. As he didn't know their names, he simply gave them nicknames. Madman was a newly risen warrior, incomparably crazy, killing anyone he saw. Others were selective in their killings. Killing too much would usually make them feel depressed and uncomfortable. And this madman seemed to enjoy killing. His strength was recognized to be within the top 10 of this city. Devil, a warrior that rose early on, he could be said to be the overlord of the East District of this city, previously recognized as the strongest warrior of the East District. However, after Madman's rise, Devil's title as the strongest warrior of the East District was questioned, because Madman was also from the East District. Interesting. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with excitement, immediately heading towards the distant devil. After smashing one opponent to death, the 3-meter-tall member of the Darkness Kiara tribe immediately chased after the last opponent. His footwork was strange, and every step he took covered a great distance in an instant. He was astonishingly fast. and the last opponent was a handsome youth with crystal-clear skin, his face filled with fear, swiftly fleeing. "Why would I meet this demon devil? It's too late, too late." Suddenly, the Darkstar clan expert, Devil Hammer, who was wielding 4 black hammers, suddenly stopped and stared ahead with his single eye. The dark night shrouded the streets ahead. A silhouette walked out quietly. Compared to the 3M tall and strong Darkness Clan warrior Devil, he seemed very small. His entire body was about 1.8 m tall, dressed in a dark gray battle robe, carrying a blade and shield on his back. Just like that, step by step, it made the Darkness Clan warrior Devil give up on chasing his last target. The handsome youth flew into the air, still in a daze. On the streets, the Darkness Clan genius Devil stared at Luo Feng with his single eye. Luo Feng too looked at the opponent ahead, his eyes filled with excitement. "Madman?" Devil's voice was cold. "Devil?" Luo Feng however grinned, revealing an excited smile. Chapter 402. The 2 super experts who could be ranked in the top 10 of the city, the 2 strongest freaks in the Eastern District, met on this dark street. And normally the absolute warriors would try their best to accumulate points. Only when they had enough would they engage in life and death battles with the same level warriors. As they had enough points, even if they died and lost half their point, they would still be in the top 1001. "Make a move now?" Devil stared at Luo Feng. "Right." Luo Feng nodded. "Now." "Haha, then I want to see just how strong this madman that countless geniuses fear is." Devil's vertical eye was filled with madness. Luo Feng floated up half a meter. The soaring shuttle automatically appeared beneath his feet. On the street, the 2 faced each other. Rumble. Devil's right leg fiercely stomped on the ground, causing the ground to crack open. His entire body flashed and appeared right in front of Luo Feng, his 4 arms wielding sharp black hammers, smashing towards Luo Feng as fast as lightning. Luo Feng's body floated backwards. Simultaneously a golden light shot out from the soaring shuttle beneath his feet, following which it became a golden fish. "Go!" Luo Feng's gaze focused. The golden fish happily swam towards Devil. This caused Devil's pupils to shrink. He was shocked within. This madman's control of his spirit weapon. He's actually reached such a perfect level. It's obviously formed from a combination of blades, but it's actually like a real fish. There's no killing intent at all. Pung, 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 pung. A series of clashing sounds. The 4 arms danced, causing the 4 black hammers to actually intertwine, forming an almost perfect defense, time and time again blocking the golden fish. "Haha, madman only has this much strength." Devil let out a loud laugh. Rumble, a thick black energy revolved around Devil's surroundings. In an instant the surrounding 100m area was enveloped in a black energy domain. Luo Feng could feel the thick killing intent within the black energy. With the energy revolving, the 4 black hammers on Devil's 4 arms received a boost. Their speed soared, every swing becoming faster, even heavier. The black hammers danced. The golden fish constantly dodged, trying to break through the black hammer's defense. Ka! The golden fish dodged, one of the black hammers smashing onto an alloy lamppost. That thick lamppost actually bent from the impact. Boom! The hammer smashed into the street, revealing a pit. Gravel flew in all directions faster than a sniper rifle bullet. The hammers danced in the air, as fast as lightning, heavy as a mountain. Clang! Finally, the golden fish was sent flying by the hammer. The golden threads on the surface of the golden fish trembled, as if they were about to collapse. "Haha, madman, is that all you've got? Don't think that just because you're on a spirit weapon, I can't catch up to you." A peculiar disc suddenly appeared beneath Devil's feet, after which he swiftly flew towards Luo Feng. "Our bodies are all the same. My spirit energy isn't any weaker than yours." With the help of the domain, Devil immediately flew towards Luo Feng. Luo Feng, however, revealed a smile. "Devil, indeed the devil." The Darkness Clan was originally one of the most famous clans in the Ganwu Universe country. The members of the Darkness Clan could reach the universe level when they reached adulthood, and as the favorites of the land, over 90% of the Darkness Clan went to comprehend the Earth element domains and laws. The heaviness of Devil's Black Domain was actually a characteristic of the Earth domain. Rumble! Luo Feng's body fiercely exploded with golden light. A sharp golden energy swiftly enveloped the surroundings, forcing the black energy away. Devil stopped in mid-air. Devil, you are the first opponent in this city to make me unleash my domain. Luo Feng smiled. Devil squinted. This madman before him was too arrogant. He hadn't even used his domain before. Even with the domain, you will still die. Enveloped in the black energy, the four-armed, one-eyed Darkness Clan genius, Devil, was like a demon god as he pounced towards Luo Feng. The four hammers in his hands immediately became a continuous black blur, as though the mountains were collapsing and the earth was splitting. Countless rocks madly smashed down. The golden energy wrapped around the golden fish, almost as though it had entered the water from the land. It became even more agile and nimble. This domain gave it momentum. The soaring shuttle was originally made of gold, infused with space origin laws. Under Luo Feng's gold domain, it was like a fish in water. Xiao! 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 The golden fish rushed towards Devil time and time again. Devil madly waved his four hammers to smash the golden fish. However, the golden fish was obviously much more agile and much more powerful. Not to mention attacking, just defending against this slippery fish was extremely difficult. Ah 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 ah! Devil couldn't help but roar, his single eye staring hard at the golden fish. The fish's tail swung, drawing an S shape as it pierced towards Devil. Dang! Devil once again blocked. Dang! 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 Devil did his best to block, his forehead beaded with sweat. In the distance, Luo Feng sighed within. My domain, willpower and origin laws have all been used. The soaring shuttle's power has already reached its limit. I actually can't even kill this devil. Devil's strength was indeed very strong, his four hammers combined with his powerful domain. When he attacked, every hammer was shockingly heavy. When he defended, it was perfect too. To instantly defeat him, I'll have to use the Nanshen armament. Luo Feng thought. The soaring shuttle was unable to unleash his full strength, while the Nanshen armament was his strongest killing move. This madman is too terrifying. I've met tens of thousands of spirit readers, but in terms of spirit weapon control, I've never seen one as terrifying as him. His golden fish's attacks are just like any other fish, incomparably agile and unpredictable. If its power doesn't explode, it's impossible to detect. The moment it explodes, its power is shocking. Devil thought. His control of the swordfish formation had indeed reached a level where he could do as he wished, perfect and flawless. If he wanted it to explode, it would explode. If he didn't want it to explode, it wouldn't leak out at all. Under Luo Feng's golden fish's attacks, Devil's defense was getting more and more strained. Defending for too long would result in failure. After clenching his teeth and blocking 106 consecutive attacks, his mental state began to deteriorate. The golden fish whizzed past the black hammer and pierced towards him. The Darkness Clan prodigy quivered in fright and used the black hammer in his other arm to protect himself. Chi! The golden fish fiercely sliced into one of his arms, infused with the golden origin laws. This fish was incomparably sharp, directly slicing through the genetic energy armor, slicing through. But the arm holding the black hammer fell. Ah 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 ah! The one-armed devil roared angrily, his other three arms each holding a black hammer, madly rushing towards Luo Feng. I'm a spirit reader, I won't fight you in close combat. Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle and swiftly dodged, controlling the golden fish to attack. A spirit reader fighting in close combat, was he stupid? Xiao! 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 Having already lost an arm, the Darkness Clan genius Devil was destined to be unable to turn the tables. And knowing his fate, Devil began to madly try to kill Luo Feng, however he was stopped by the golden fish. Ah ah ah! Devil roared. Rumble! 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 The three black hammers madly danced, smashing into the nearby alloy pillars of the street lamps, smashing into the nearby buildings and causing them to crack open, revealing the alloy within, glass flying everywhere. However, a person's frenzied excitement could only last for a moment. Chi! The golden fish immediately passed through the gap between the two black hammers, shooting straight into Devil's single eye, piercing through his skull. Silence! Luo Feng slowly descended, landing on the street. The golden fish too flew back into the soaring shuttle. Rumble! Devil's huge body slowly fell, the black hammer in his hands smashed into the ground, causing a loud sound. Looking at the corpse of the Darkness Clan genius before him, Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. This devil is even stronger than Big Brother. Judging from his intuition, this devil should have a domain level 8. The Darkness Clan was originally the darling of the land, just like the golden horned beast which was the darling of the gold universe. And this devil had trained for hundreds of years, under the guidance of the seniors of his clan, and being a genius of his clan, reaching a domain level 8 wasn't strange at all. Hence, without using the Nanshin armament, Luo Feng had already given it his all. On the street, standing beside Devil's corpse, Luo Feng adjusted himself for a while, before lowering his head to look at the screen on his wrist. The screen had already changed. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points 61293030 rank 191". This devil, no wonder he's an absolute warrior of this city, and he appeared from the start. After such a long time, his points are much higher than mine. Luo Feng thought. Killing Devil alone gave him 3 million points, that meant Devil himself should have about 6 million points. No wonder he was a domain level 8 genius. Very good. Luo Feng revealed a smile. Killing Devil was even more profitable than killing over 1,000 geniuses before. Luo Feng trembled within, fiercely turning to look at the residential building beside him. On the balcony of the residential building stood a silhouette. It was a green-armored, green-haired handsome youth. He was looking down at Luo Feng on the street below. There's actually someone so close to me, I didn't even notice before. Luo Feng's back was drenched in cold sweat. Madman, indeed a madman. A clear voice resounded. The green-haired handsome youth stood on the balcony smiling. You actually managed to kill Devil, this devil. Even I would have to spend quite a bit of energy to kill him. Right now in the East District, you madman is the #1 warrior. I really want to battle you now. Luo Feng squinted. A person flashed in his mind shouting, You are Windmill? Windmill. The publicly acknowledged top 10 geniuses of this city. If one were to say Madman was the latest madman to rise, then Windmill would represent an almost invincible and terrifying person in the city. He loved to roam the city, specially fighting against the true warriors. Up till now, every time he fought, he always succeeded. I still don't have enough points. On the last day, I'll find you, you and I will battle. The handsome youth smiled, after which he became a green light, immediately disappearing into the night. P.S. Only 2 chapters left today. Chapter 403. Windmill. On the street, Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The super-strong fighter codenamed Windmill was like him, also a spirit reader. From what he understood, this Windmill was famed for his speed and ferocity. The moment he attacked, he had never failed once. He was one of the strongest absolute warriors in this city. Just the fact that he was able to silently appear not even 200 m away from him on the rooftop of a residential building proved his strength. Windmill. Luo Feng smiled. Then come at me. After which Luo Feng left the street, leaving behind the Darkness Clan genius Devil's corpse. Actually, the battle between Madman and Devil, the rumbling not only attracted Windmill, but also attracted the other weaker geniuses. It was just that when they saw Madman and Devil from afar, they were all scared and hid 1,000 m away, none of them daring to get close. In this battle, Devil died. Madman lived. In the East District, Madman's name immediately exploded. The following day's massacre. Madman continued his massacre. As long as he discovered a participant, he would chase and kill him. Elimination Day 21. Madman killed Cold Thread, who was also ranked in the top 10 of the city, in a skyscraper. Elimination Day 26. Madman killed Bonehead, one of the top 10 strongest fighters in the city, in a residential area. Since then, 3 of the top 10 absolute warriors had died under Madman's hands. This Madman's name had a shocking amount of power in this city. The surviving true geniuses of the city all acknowledged that Madman had the shocking power of the top 3 in this city. 88th World. A bald young man wearing a white battle robe was standing on the waist of a mountain in the rolling mountain range. Your Thunder. A young, muscular man with messy hair and big bare feet stood over 3 meters tall. He held a short knife in his hand and grinned at the Thunder God in front of him. Thunder God's face was pale. You are. The tall and sturdy man before him looked very similar to an Earth person, just that he was thicker and taller. And in the 88th World Zone, this barbaric man was a terrifying existence. Nicknamed Savage, ranked 3 in 88th World. Savage loved to hunt down experts. Only truly powerful geniuses would attract him. In this 88 World Zone, no one was Savage's opponent. At the very least, Savage had not met his match yet. Experts fell one after another in front of his short blade. The so-called short blade was also relative to Savage's stature. For Thor, that saber would be a large warblade. Bring out your full strength. Savage looked at Thor. I don't believe it. Lightning flashed in Thunder God's eyes, and he was surrounded by electric snakes. His whole body turned illusory, as if he had created a hazy illusion, and directly approached the Savage. Savage roared and slashed with his saber. Thunder God felt as though the world had disappeared, leaving behind only that incredibly fast dagger. The dagger slashed down with an earth-shattering momentum, forcing Thunder God to block with his sword. Clang! Thunder God felt his hand go numb. The skin between his thumb and forefinger was torn open and fresh blood flowed. The blade in his hand was immediately knocked away. Too strong. Thunder God watched as the dagger slashed at him, only having that thought in his mind. Chi. The dagger slashed past. Thunder God was killed on the 27th day of the elimination. 72 ND World Zone. If Luo Feng's world was a simulation of a planet's land surface, then Thunder God's world was a simulation of a large mountain forest, then this 72nd world was a simulation of a very famous building in the Ganwu Universe country, the planet Skyscraper. The planet Skyscraper was a super skyscraper that reached into the clouds. The entire skyscraper took up a huge amount of space. Within the skyscraper, it was designed to house 10 billion people. This was indeed an unbelievable thing. Most life planets only had this many people, hence it was named the planet's skyscraper. This skyscraper had a shocking reputation throughout the entire Ganwu Universe country. It was built by an undying who was inspired by a sudden impulse and spent a huge amount of money to build it. This 72nd World Zone. Within this super skyscraper, over 2 billion people were all inside, engaging in a slaughter. Night. The entire skyscraper was pitch black. A black-haired man wielding a long spear was quietly walking along a 10 wide huge walkway. This walkway was filled with blood stains. Corpses could be seen everywhere. It's already the 28th day. Hong lowered his head and looked at the screen on his wrist. Participant. Hong, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 910293 rank. 1016-inch. The last 2 to 3 days, many warriors will be fighting, working hard to accumulate points. In these last 2 to 3 days, I have to get enough points to rush into the top 1001. Hong walked along the dark walkway, almost like a spirit in the night. He had been trained as an assassin since childhood, hence he was very used to these life and death battles. "Hm?" Hong creased his eyebrows. "Who?" The light around him warped, Hong's entire body vanished into thin air. At the distant fork in the walkway, a warrior looked around, not seeing a single person. He continued forward. "Hm?" This youth's expression changed. "There's someone." Immediately a berserk energy wave surged out, the domain spread out, immediately causing a silhouette to appear tens of meters away. This black-clothed silhouette was rushing over like lightning. His entire body was contorted, giving off a very strange feeling. "Xiao!" The long spear turned, the spearhead piercing through the air, directly piercing towards the enemy. The youth immediately retreated, at the same time controlling his spirit weapon to block. "Pooh!" The spearhead pierced through the youth's head. His eyes were still filled with shock and disbelief, as though he couldn't understand how a spear that he had clearly blocked would actually continue to kill him. His usage of the domain is too crude. Hong looked at the corpse, his body blurred, and he vanished once more. Within the single room of the ship. Second uncle's ranking has dropped. Little Hai's red face was filled with shock, shouting out crisply, "It was 3,000 just now, now it's 5,000. What?" Su Gang stared wide-eyed, looking carefully at the screen, nodding. "That's true, Thunder God's ranking has dropped. Looks like his points have dropped by at least half. To drop by half, don't tell me Thunder God was killed?" "Let me try," Su Xian said, after which she contacted Thunder God. Hello, sister-in-law, I've just been eliminated and I've already received over 10 calls, haha. Thunder God appeared on the screen, laughing. Second uncle, you lost?" Beside, Little Ping made a ruckus. "Right, I lost." Thunder God let out a weird cry, shaking his head. "I had no choice, I met our world's savage, that savage is sick, his speed is sick, I couldn't even escape. If I fought, I was actually killed in one move, his strength is much stronger than mine. I lost so much I have nothing to say." One move. The group of people in the single room were shocked. "However, Little Ping, your dad is not bad. I saw it earlier. He's already made it to 128. Thunder God complimented. "Big brother is not bad too, however he's still a little away from the top 1001. Luo Feng's sudden rise in the genius battle caused countless people in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire to go crazy with excitement. In the first world, in a ship's hall, over 1,000 people gathered. Luo Feng's rank has risen again. He's already reached 128. Too powerful, Luo Feng only made his move on the 10th day. If he had made his move right from the start, his points would definitely be much higher than now. Making it to the top 100 would definitely be easy. Right. Luo Feng is too strong. He's much stronger than many of the warriors in the starfields under the Ganwu universe country." This group of imperial citizens was very excited. Normally, there were very few starfields competing like this because there was no place to do so. However, in the starfields where the culture of martial artists was extremely strong, the genius battle was a representation of the strength of a starfield's experts. The more geniuses there were, the stronger the starfield was. The less geniuses there were, naturally they were lower than the others. Right now, our Black Dragon Mountain Empire already has 2 people who have made it into the top 1001 of their respective world. Nabini is very strong too. He's currently at 862. This Nabini, he was a genius in our galaxy before, after which he received the attention of the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. They immediately recruited him. Nabini making it to 862, not bad too. It's not bad, however he can't compare to Luo Feng. Right, Luo Feng is already at 128. This ranking gets harder the higher you go. Gao Xing, Nulan Shan, and the countless citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, even the people from the various starfields of the Ganwu Universe country, were all paying close attention. And this time, Luo Feng had gained a lot of face for the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The 30th day of the elimination, which was also the last day. The night had just passed, the sky was bright. Luo Feng walked on the streets, lowering his head to look at the screen on his wrist. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points, 1398892 rank, 102 inch 102? The main thing was killing Devil and the other two absolute warriors, only then did he accumulate so many points. After a while, Luo Feng arrived at the street where he killed Devil, after which Luo Feng exploded with genetic energy, looking up and shouting loudly, "Windmill!" A roar infused with the energy of a star level 9 seemed to instantly resound throughout the entire city, even exceeding the city itself, spreading throughout the wilderness. Windmill! 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 The sound reverberated throughout the city. In the entire city, the countless surviving warriors were all shocked. Windmill? Who dared to provoke Windmill? On the balcony of a skyscraper, a green-haired youth sitting on the balcony opened his eyes, muttering, "This madman, he's really crazy." Devil, Ice Thread, Bone, they all died by his hand. This battle really makes one anticipate it. The green-haired youth immediately stood up, his eyes gleaming with a peculiar light, after which he became a green light piercing through the skies, heading directly towards the place where he first met Madman. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 404. The sky brightened. In this silent and bloody street, Luo Feng stood alone. Luo Feng looked up. In the distance a green light swiftly flew over, simultaneously decelerating, revealing a silhouette. It was the green-haired youth, who was stepping on a green wheel-shaped spirit weapon. The edge of the wheel was as sharp as a blade. As he decelerated, the green-haired youth descended, landing 100 m away from Luo Feng. "I didn't expect you to actually shout so loudly." The green-haired youth looked at Luo Feng, his eyes gleaming. "This roar of yours, everyone in the city heard it." "So what if they heard it?" Luo Feng stood there, his entire being was like a condensed killing aura. The killing aura was shockingly heavy. What does this madman do in the real world, such a heavy killing aura? The green-haired youth thought, how could he know that Luo Feng had possessed the golden horned beast that was born to kill? Possessing the golden horned beast brought Luo Feng many benefits. If not for the golden horned beast, relying on the UNMO planet inheritance, Luo Feng would only be able to do as he pleased in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. And possessing the golden horned beast allowed Luo Feng to become one of the pinnacle geniuses in the human world of the universe. It was destined. Luo Feng's stage was even wider. He couldn't possibly be limited to the Black Dragon Mountain star field. This was the advantage of the golden horned beast. The disadvantage was that its personality was even more violent and bloodthirsty. In the past, he had always been controlled, however in this first world, Luo Feng had completely let go. Luo Feng's cold gaze swept the distant surroundings. In the distant residential buildings, some shopping malls, even in the corners of the streets, silhouettes could be seen. And in the sky, silhouettes could be seen breaking through the skies, landing in the distance. It's Madman. The other is Windmill. It's indeed the two of them. That roar before I guessed it was Madman's roar. In our city, only Madman would dare challenge Windmill. It's too exciting on this last day. Madman actually dares to challenge Windmill. Madman, Windmill, who will win? Who knows? Madman, that punk is capable of anything. Devil, Ice Thread, Bones and the others all died under Madman's hands. However, the warriors that died under Windmill's hands were even more. These two, it's hard to say. Within a short period of time, many warriors had gathered in the shopping malls and residential buildings around 1000 m away from Luo Feng and Windmill. all of them quietly watching the battle. This super battle was probably the pinnacle of this city. On the street, Luo Feng and the green-haired youth faced each other. There are quite a lot of people. Luo Feng gazed into the distance. They were all attracted by your roar. The green-haired youth said, "This is troublesome. If the two of us fight, it's fine if one side wins cleanly, but what if it's a Pyrrhic victory? Even if we win, we will be heavily injured. When the time comes, we will definitely be surrounded by a large number of experts, because the winner will obtain an astonishing amount of points, which will make many people go crazy." Luo Feng nodded. In the real world, he had the inner world to quickly heal his injuries. However, in the first world, his body's cell activity was the same as everyone else's. It would be very troublesome if he was injured. "From what I see, we should first kill them, then we'll battle," Luo Feng said. The green-haired youth was startled. He thought to himself that the madman in front of him was crazy enough. "All right," the green-haired youth said loudly. "That makes sense. To prevent anyone from disturbing us, we'll kill all these people first." His voice reverberated and spread out, causing the many experts hiding in the surrounding neighborhoods and streets to jump in fright. This green-haired youth purposely raised his voice. Obviously, he wanted the warriors watching from afar to retreat. However, this way, the chances of success would be much lower. "You're so kind." Luo Feng glanced at him. He immediately stepped on the soaring shuttle and rushed towards the nearest residential building. The green-haired youth laughed. "I'm just afraid of trouble." The two stood on their spirit weapons and swiftly flew towards the residential building. "Quickly flee. That madman and windmill have both gone crazy. Quickly leave. They're coming over." Immediately silhouettes madly fled in all directions, all of them in chaos. The geniuses that were still alive today, many of them were close in strength to Thunder God. Some were even stronger than him. However, against the most sick two people in this city, Windmill and Madman, they all chose to flee. "Follow me." After killing a few people, Luo Feng communicated to Windmill, after which he led the way into an underground tunnel. The green-haired youth followed closely behind. This city's underground tunnels extended in all directions. Luo Feng and the green-haired youth swiftly flew along the tunnels. After a while, they flew out of one of the tunnels. At this time, they had already reached the north district of the city. This place was a cluster of villas. Many villas that were completely different from those on Earth were scattered within a few km radius. Luo Feng and Windmill were standing on top of a villa's tower, facing each other from afar. Windmill. Luo Feng's mind was like a sea of blood. It was filled with killing intent and killing intent. However, this sea of blood was incomparably calm, without a single ripple. Tyrannical yet cold. This was one of the special characteristics of the golden-horned beast. Even though it was crazy and bloodthirsty, it was incomparably calm. This windmill is much stronger than the other three, Luo Feng thought. Today is the last day of the elimination. This battle should also be the last one. The green-haired youth looked at Luo Feng and smiled. "Madman, I'm very curious. What's your current rank?" None of them knew each other's real names. Hence, they didn't know their ranks. 102. Luo Feng looked at the green-haired youth. "What about you?" 42. The green-haired youth said. Luo Feng was shocked within. One could tell one's strength from their rank. His own screen had a ranking board. Devil, Bone and Ice Thread, even though they were in the top 10 of this city, according to the points he got from killing them, these three were around 200 to 300. And the strongest warrior in this city, Windmill, was ranked 42. "How do you have so many points?" Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The number one in this world can directly get one of the 1,000 slots from the Ganwu Universe country. Hence many absolute warriors, after killing in their own cities, will head to other cities to hunt. The green-haired youth smiled. "Just within your own city, it's impossible to get number one. There was once a warrior who attacked our city, however, he was killed by me," the green-haired youth said. "From that warrior I acquired over 10 million points." Over 10 million! Luo Feng was shocked within. A super expert from another city had given this windmill more than 10 million points. This windmill's total points were definitely very exaggerated. Being ranked 42 was normal. That absolute warrior is also the only one who's forced me to use my full strength. The green-haired youth stared at Luo Feng, his eyes filled with anticipation. "Madman, this is the final battle. No matter who wins or loses, we'll definitely pass the elimination. I hope you'll bring out your full strength. Without an opponent, it's really boring." The green-haired youth's eyes were filled with madness. Luo Feng looked at the green-haired youth, his fighting spirit burning within. "Then don't waste my breath," Luo Feng ordered softly. "Rumble." His body immediately emitted a glaring golden light. Large amounts of golden light formed a golden energy flow. A golden fish was like a fish in water within this energy flow, swiftly rushing towards the distant green-haired youth. Rumble. The green-haired youth's body immediately emitted a green energy flow. Simultaneously, a complicated wheel-shaped spirit weapon appeared before him. 1. The wheel swiftly revolved. At the same time, the green energy flow formed a pathway and swiftly intercepted the golden fish. Dang, 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 dang. Clash after clash. The two spirit weapons clashed again and again in mid-air. Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle, and the green-haired youth stood on the green wheel facing each other. The two of them were absolute geniuses among spirit readers, even stepping into the gateway of the origin laws. Unlike Devil, who had 4 arms, this green-haired youth just relied on that wheel to block Luo Feng's golden fish's every attack. Of course, his swift and powerful wheel was unable to suppress Luo Feng's weapon. "Windmill, is that all you've got?" Luo Feng roared softly. The golden fish infused with threads of gold origin laws agilely dodged the blade and smashed into the wheel, after which it shot like lightning towards the green-haired youth. So, very good. The wheel beneath the green-haired youth's feet was the same spirit weapon as the attacking wheel. At this time, the wheel beneath his feet suddenly shot out to intercept the golden fish. As it shot out, it actually split apart into 2 crescent discs. The 2 discs interacted with each other and madly revolved. Madman, the absolute warrior from the other city, was the first. "You are the second to make me use my full strength." The green-haired youth's eyes gleamed. Dang, dang. A series of urgent clashing sounds. The 2 crescent discs were like 2 crescent moons revolving around each other, affecting each other. Their speed constantly rose and became even more peculiar and frenzied. The 2 discs interacted with each other, causing Luo Feng's only golden fish to panic. It was too tiring to completely block them. Too fast, too peculiar. Luo Feng could feel that the 2 discs were infused with an origin law. Just like in the universe, they revolved around each other like twin stars. These 2 discs were infused with a peculiar mystery. In the past, Windmill's name had shaken the entire city. It was because of his spirit weapon's incomparably swift and ferocious movements. However, after the wheel split into 2, speed, power and strangeness, these 3 aspects all had a shocking rise. It completely showed Luo Feng what wind was. It completely suppressed Luo Feng. One of the discs actually suppressed the golden fish. The other shot towards Luo Feng like lightning. Luo Feng immediately stepped on the soaring shuttle and retreated, simultaneously wielding his shield. Dang! The discs slammed into Luo Feng's shield. The discs that were infused with that ferocious wind caused Luo Feng's entire body to be smashed backwards, smashing through the roof of the villa and landing within. Xiao! The golden fish swiftly flew back into the villa. Purring! The already shattered roof of the villa exploded once again. A human silhouette rushed into the sky. It was Luo Feng. At this time, Luo Feng didn't seem to be in a sorry state at all. Instead, his eyes were filled with excitement. The green-haired youth floated, the two discs floating around him. The green-haired youth realized that Luo Feng was carrying a dark golden long rod on his back. That long rod was very thick and long, almost like a dark golden wooden pillar. Windmill, you're right. Without an opponent, it's really boring. In the distant sky above the villa, Luo Feng's eyes were filled with madness. You windmill are the first to force me to use my strongest power. There's no choice. You're really strong. If I don't take out the Nanshan armament, I really wouldn't be able to beat you. The green-haired youth's body trembled. He looked shocked at the dark golden long rod on Luo Feng's back. Nanshan armament? Chapter 405. The Nanshan armament was infused with the gold and space origin laws. It was one of the 9 godly weapons that spirit readers could control. To a star level, wanting to use the Nanshan armament was an unbelievable thing. The Nanshan armament had 9 forms. Just the first form, illusion blade form, required one to have some comprehension of the gold origin laws and a strong consciousness to be able to unleash it successfully. Just the possibility of success was something that Luo Feng had to study for months in the real world, spending 10 days before the elimination before he had a basic grasp of it. Star-level mastery of the first form was invincible within the same level. Invincible, that was proof of its power. You can use the Nanshan armament? The green-haired youth's eyes were filled with shock. This is my first time using the Nanshan armament in battle. Luo Feng carried the dark golden long rod on his back, slowly landing on an undamaged roof of the villa. The green-haired youth couldn't help but feel nervous. After all, the 9 godly weapons were too famous. Only the fighting spirit within caused the green-haired youth's eyes to burn, saying loudly, "Madman, on the last day of the elimination, to be able to meet an opponent like you, it really makes me happy. Bring out your full strength, let me take a good look. Just how strong the legendary Nanshan armament is." "I won't disappoint you." Luo Feng squinted. The two faced each other, less than 100 m apart, standing on 2 different roofs of the villas. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, pointing at the distant green-haired youth. Immediately the dark golden long rod on his back shot out a golden light. It was 9 golden little blades that were as thin as cicada wings. These 9 golden little blades naturally split up. Simultaneously, the incomparably complicated engravings on them began to circulate and link with each other. To connect the countless golden threads into a perfect whole, it was extremely difficult. Before, when he used the soaring shuttle, even with the swordfish formation at large completion, he still wasn't able to completely infuse his understanding of the gold origin laws into it. And at this time, almost in an instant, he infused all his understanding of the gold origin laws into this move, trying his best to unleash the first form. Luo Feng only felt that his understanding wasn't enough. This first form was only a basic grasp, far from reaching the large completion stage. A dreamy golden blade covered in a faint golden light floated before Luo Feng. The entire illusionary golden blade couldn't be seen clearly. A powerful energy emanated from the illusionary golden blade, causing the air before it to tremble. Xiao! The psychedelic golden sword instantly shot towards the green-haired youth in the distance. The instant the psychedelic golden sword shot out, it turned into a golden rainbow because it was too fast. "He!" The green-haired youth gritted his teeth and roared, the veins on his forehead bulging, using all his strength to control the spirit weapon. The 2 waning moon discs were like 2 playful children, playing and chasing each other, turning into a gust of wind that intercepted that terrifying golden rainbow in an unpredictable trajectory. Boom! The golden sword rainbow collided with the 2 waning moon discs. With a loud explosion, the 2 waning moon discs were sent flying towards the villa below. Pa! One of the waning moon discs smashed into the villa's glass, causing it to explode. The broken glass shards flew everywhere. Xiao! After the collision, the golden illusory sword turned into a golden rainbow again, and shot towards the green-haired youth. How could this be? The green-haired youth revealed a shocked and angry expression. The disc under his feet immediately flew out and split into two, transforming into two crescent discs to block. Boom! The golden rainbow struck again, and the two waning moon discs were sent flying again. Chi! Following closely, the golden illusory sword shot towards the green-haired youth's body. The green-haired youth didn't dodge, instead staring hard at Luo Feng, communicating through spirit energy. Madman, I unleashed it wrongly. I'll definitely win next time, definitely win! The roar resounded in Luo Feng's ears. The golden illusory sword had already pierced through his head. The green-haired youth's body fell from mid-air, smashing into the roof and rolling down, landing in the villa's courtyard. You were wrong. Luo Feng landed beside the body, saying softly, You've already stepped into the gateway of the origin laws. Originally, it wouldn't have been easy for me to kill you. However, you chose to clash head-on with me. Who can you blame? Even though he hadn't used the Nanshin armament before this battle, he had never truly fought against an opponent before. However, in the virtual universe killing fields, to familiarize himself with the Nanshin armament, Luo Feng had set up many star levels to fight against, setting them to comprehend gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, time, space, etc. This allowed Luo Feng to accumulate quite a bit of experience. Gold, extremely strong and unyielding, incomparably sharp. Wind, formless and unfathomable. Walking different paths of origin laws, one's battle style would naturally be different. Luo Feng had stepped into the gateway of the gold origin laws. His attacks were naturally extremely strong and unyielding, destroying everything, and he used the Nanshin armament that was most suited for the gold origin laws. Its power was extremely strong. Windmill clashed head-on with Luo Feng. He couldn't be blamed for his death. The main thing was that the green-haired youth Windmill was shocked by the Nanshin armament's name, plus he had fought against similar-level opponents before. He had always been successful, only until his death did he realize the best way to deal with Madman. Madman and Windmill's battle. The commotion naturally attracted the geniuses and warriors that were originally in the North District. By the time they got close to watch, the battle had already ended. Windmill has lost? Windmill has actually been killed? That's unbelievable, I didn't see wrongly right. Windmill has already fallen, who can match up to Madman? In the distance, the group of warriors were extremely shocked. Windmill was much stronger than Devil, Ice Thread and Bone etc. Many had long guessed who would win between Windmill and Madman, however many believed in Windmill. After all, Windmill's battle results were too indomitable, and he had always been at the top, never losing. He had always been relaxed, slaughtering his way through. The city's number one was Windmill. Many had long since believed so. That Madman is too strong. Madman's final golden light, just what was it? Wasn't it said that Madman's spirit weapon was a golden fish? Right? How many points will Madman get for killing Windmill? Even if Windmill loses half his points, his rank will still be high. As for Madman, his points are definitely much higher than Windmill's now. Luo Feng carried the dark golden long rod on his back, flying out of the villa district, arriving at a distant densely packed residential area, directly entering from a balcony. The elimination has 30 days, today is the last day. Luo Feng sat quietly on the ground, adjusting his state of mind. The 30 days of the elimination, especially the last 20 days, he had completely unleashed the madness within him, immersing himself in the slaughter. The number of people he had killed reached the thousands, the path of blood, earning him the name Madman. However, Luo Feng didn't want to bring such a state of mind back to reality. Who? Luo Feng sat cross-legged, suppressing the bloodthirst within his bones, suppressing it deep within his heart. This Windmill sure has a lot of points, no wonder he was ranked 42 before. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. The number of points on the screen made one's heart palpitate. Participant. Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 3217820 rank. 51 inch. After killing Windmill, I actually got over 18 million points. Luo Feng was shocked within. Killing absolute warriors to earn points was indeed very fast. His previous close to 14 million points couldn't even compare to this harvest. However, Windmill had also mentioned that he had once killed a super expert from another city and obtained more than 10 million points. The fastest way to earn points is still to kill absolute warriors. The best way is to go to each city and kill them, Luo Feng thought. For example, killing the number 1, he estimated he would get over 100 million points in one go. Of course, the prerequisite was having the ability to kill. When Luo Feng killed Windmill, his ranking immediately jumped from 102 to 51. This attracted many powers and organizations from the Ganwu Universe country to pay close attention to Luo Feng. When Luo Feng had just rushed into the top 1001, the ones paying attention to him were still the trillions of citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. However, it was different when he reached the 51st place. The higher one's ranking, the more ridiculous one's strength was. Every world's top 3 could be said to be true absolute geniuses that had stepped through the door of the origin laws. Every world's top 100, there were a few absolute geniuses that had comprehended the origin laws. Ranking high or low depended on one's own choices. Some absolute warriors, like Luo Feng and Windmill, if these two didn't hole up in their own cities, but roamed the entire world's 91 cities, killing the absolute warriors of each city. Maybe they would meet a tough opponent, but the bigger possibility was that they could make it into the world's top 10. Gather information on Luo Feng. For this Luo Feng to be able to rank 51, he should be a battle genius that has reached the domain level 8 or 9, or an even stronger absolute genius that has comprehended the origin laws. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire, that kind of place, actually has a genius that has made it to rank 51. It's very rare. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire has always been below average among the many vassal countries of our Ganwu Universe country. At this time, within the luxurious hall of the Universe ship that gathered the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's ruling class. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Great news. Your Majesty, rank 51, that's a double-digit ranking. The thousands of people in the hall were all in an uproar. A triple-digit ranking, a double-digit ranking, a single-digit ranking, the glory they represented were all different. For example, the 3 people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire that had temporarily made it Hong was ranked 999th. Nabini was ranked 860th. Luo Feng was ranked 51. With one look, one could tell that Hong and Nabini were considered the pinnacle geniuses of the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. However, Luo Feng was definitely an absolute warrior that could be ranked in the top of the Ganwu Universe country. Double-digit ranking. Your Majesty, right now the entire Black Dragon Mountain Island, the trillions of citizens are all extremely excited. Sitting high above, the Emperor couldn't hide his happiness, laughing loudly. This elimination, our empire did well. From the looks of it, there's a high possibility of 3 people making it. Hong and Nabini are both very outstanding. As for Luo Feng, haha, he's the pride of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This Luo Feng has done a great service. A great service? The Emperor's voice was even louder. We have to reward him, heavily reward him. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Today is Valentine's Day. I wish all the lovers in the world to be together. Any single brothers have to have the courage to confess, haha. Chapter 406. When Luo Feng, this madman, finally put down his bloody knife and hid in a residential building, quietly waiting for the elimination to end. Within the 72nd world skyscraper, the current rank 999 Hong was still fighting with his life, because the last day's slaughter would be extremely crazy and cruel. Especially the group with around 1,000 points, they could rise at any time. or they could be pushed down at any time. I have to ensure that I survive. The moment I die, I'll lose half my points. I'll definitely drop out of the top 1001. Within a broken house, a black-clothed Hong stood there with his eyes closed. At the same time, I'll try my best to kill a few more warriors, to raise my ranking a little more. Hong's mind was filled with many thoughts, but his entire being was extremely calm. His heart was as calm as a mirror. His entire being was extremely relaxed, ethereal. However, he could detect any slight movement. Earth's three strongest warriors. He and Thunder God had lived for a long time, and had experienced a lot. Even though Thunder God had some understanding of the Chinese internal martial arts, his main focus was on the ancient yoga. Before the Great Nirvana, he was a martial arts fanatic. His entire being loved the martial arts, with a pure heart, easily attuned to the world, reaching the ancient yoga level of man and nature as one. Hong was different. He had been trained as an assassin since young. An assassin's control of his strength was very precise. And the Chinese internal martial arts focused on body control. Mental control was very important. Because he was an assassin, naturally he had his own martial arts. After the Great Nirvana, the headquarter city period, the swallowing beast calamity and other training, Hong's control of every bit of strength could be said to be the strongest of the three. Of the three, Luo Feng was the youngest. In terms of talent, comprehension and perseverance, he wasn't lacking. However, Luo Feng hadn't been trained in the Chinese internal martial arts. In terms of close combat, his control and usage of strength couldn't compare to Hong and Thunder God. However, Luo Feng was still the strongest of the three. 1. His talent allowed him to become the Yun Mo planet's disciple. 2. He sacrificed his life and soul to battle the Golden Horned Beast, taking over the Golden Horned Beast's body. This allowed Luo Feng to stand on an extremely high platform, comparable to the countless pinnacle geniuses of humanity in the vast universe. Within the house, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, quietly waiting for the elimination to end. Countdown to the end of the preliminaries: 60, 59, 58, 57, 56. A deep voice reverberated in the minds of all the survivors in the 100 world. This caused many martial artists in the many worlds to feel a little anxious. I'm almost there. I was 1001 just now, but now it's 1002. It's too late. Kill. You won't be able to get into the top 1001 either. As long as you let me kill you, I'll definitely reward you handsomely when we get out. Bullsh *T. Reward me heavily? This sort of thing, the virtual universe system won't do anything about it. I'll say it nicely now, but once I go out and you refuse to admit it, what can I do? In the final moments of the countdown, every world was in chaos. And Luo Feng quietly waited. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teleport. All the survivors in the 100 worlds disappeared, and the virtual worlds also crumbled one by one, turning into nothingness. At the same time, the final rankings of each world were announced to the public. The preliminaries were over. The candidate had been chosen. Luo Feng was teleported to the air above the Black Dragon Mountain Island. A series of notifications. Luo Feng, there are 371 calls. Oh, it's now 398 calls. It's still rising. Babata's familiar voice resounded. Haha, Babata, it's been a long time since I've heard your voice. Luo Feng stood in the air above the Black Dragon Mountain Island. There were many silhouettes in the air. All of them had survived the elimination. However, surviving didn't mean they could get into the top 1001. That world, all virtual assistants have been banned. Babata said helplessly. The virtual universe system is simply too strong, there's no way to resist. Luo Feng nodded. As long as one was in the universe, one's consciousness could instantly enter the virtual universe network. allowing countless people to enter. Even within the virtual universe, countless techniques could be simulated, even the origin laws could be simulated. This was simply too terrifying. Maybe even the origin laws weren't a secret in the virtual universe. The Virtual Universe Company, one of the 5 great leviathans of humanity. And the other 4 great leviathans didn't even have the technology to build the virtual universe. This was the Virtual Universe Company's exclusive technology. This also made one even more shocked at the depth of the Virtual Universe Company. Right now there are 453 calls and 892 mails. Babata said, "I'll leave the virtual universe first." Luo Feng's thoughts move. Shua. His consciousness returned to reality and once again connected to the virtual universe. Shua. Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-Star Bay District. Luo Feng appeared in the grass patch in front of his residence. From reality to the virtual universe, if one had property, they could easily set it up. The moment one entered the virtual universe, they would immediately appear in front of their own residence in the 9-Star Bay District. Big Brother 30. A familiar voice resounded. Almost at the same time, Hong and Luo Feng, who appeared in front of their own house, turned to look. It was Thunder God. Immediately they walked over. "The two of you aren't bad. One is ranked 982, and the other is ranked 51. Thunder God curled his lips. "But my luck is terrible. I practically stepped on dog shit. I actually encountered a savage from our world. That savage was just too monstrous. He definitely stepped through the threshold of the origin laws. He killed me in one move." "That strong?" Luo Feng and Hong were shocked. Thunder God smiled. "If Big Brother and 30 met him, they'd definitely be better off than me. You all made it to the top 1001, you might even meet him in the arena battles. I barely made it to the top 1001, third brother is still stronger." Hong smiled at Luo Feng. 30 is very strong." Thunder God nodded. Hong and Thunder God, in terms of age, were much older than Luo Feng. They always had the feeling of bringing along a little brother, however obviously this little brother had shocking battle strength. 30 Work hard. The stronger you are, the brighter the future of our Earth will be." Hong patted Luo Feng's shoulder. "Dad." Luo Feng. At this time, a group of people appeared in front of their house. It was Luo Feng's family. The elimination had ended. Every world's top 1001 had passed the elimination. The entire 100 worlds had a total of 100,100 people. At the same time, every world's number 1 immediately obtained the final spot. The Ganwu Universe countries' top 1,000 had the right to participate in the Genius Pinnacle Battle of the entire universe. These 1,000 would represent the entire Ganwu Universe country, battling with the geniuses of the other universe countries, to select the most talented and outstanding person of the entire universe. The Ganwu Universe country had a total of 1,000 spots. Every world's number 1 immediately obtained a spot, hence, they had a total of 100 spots. The remaining 100,000 would fight for the 900 spots. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Luo Feng, Hong and Nabini would have to fight amongst the 100,000 warriors. Only 900 out of the 100,000 had the right to obtain a spot. The elimination rate was still extremely high. To be able to obtain the final spots, they were all absolute geniuses that made others envious, countless organizations and powers envious of the most elite seedlings. They were all considered special elites. The elimination had ended. As for the arena battles, it would be a month later. However, in this month, Luo Feng had experienced the troubles of being famous. Many powers from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had come knocking on his door. Not just that, even some of the super organizations from the Ganwu Universe country had sent people to find Luo Feng, hoping that he would join them and have a position within their organization. Reject them all. Just tell them I'm currently in closed-door training, fully focused on preparing for the arena battles. I can't be distracted. Luo Feng was helpless, he could only use this method. On the 16th day of the elimination. Solar System, Mars. Luo Feng was on the sand-filled sky of Mars, testing out his Nanshin armament. Illusion blade form. Go. Return. Luo Feng controlled a golden blade, becoming a golden rainbow that broke through the skies and flew back. Occasionally he would even control the golden blade to do some complicated movements, however it was obvious his control was a little stiff. He couldn't achieve the feeling of flowing water. The arena battles, when the opponents are all very strong, the weakest are all at Big Brother's level. There are many that are on par with me. Some are even incomparably strong. When the time comes, I'm afraid I'll have to take out the Nanshin armament right from the start. Luo Feng was very clear that the arena battles were all strong. He had to take out his trump card right from the start and charge forward. Hopefully he could make it into the top 1,000. Only then would he have the right to spar with the other absolute warriors from the other universe countries. Luo Feng, hurry and enter the virtual universe. Babata's voice resounded. Luo Feng was curious. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-Star Bay Little District. When Luo Feng appeared at the entrance of his house, he saw with a glance that there were many guests seated in his living room. Big Brother, Hong and Thunder God are currently receiving guests inside. You should hurry and enter. Luo Hua said as he saw Luo Feng arrive. Who are they? Luo Feng asked curiously. Didn't he reject any organizations coming? It's the special envoy team sent by the Black Dragon Mountain Empire Emperor. Luo Hua said softly. This team, I heard they even brought orders from the Emperor himself. The leader of the team is a sector lord. Rumor has it that his position is extremely high. Also, within the team is the Emperor of the elementary civilization country, the Silver Blue Empire. The Emperor of the Silver Blue Empire? Luo Feng was shocked. The Silver Blue Empire was a universe country that ruled over the Milky Way and the other 8 galaxies. This emperor actually followed the team here. This time, they're mainly here for you, Big Brother. Luo Hua said. I'll go in and take a look. Luo Feng nodded, after which he took big strides towards the living room. The second chapter ended. Tomato continued to write the third. Valentine's Day, he didn't accompany his wife to play. His wife was very understanding. Instead he stayed at home and wrote, strongly requesting his brothers to give him some monthly votes. Chapter 407. There were a total of 11 people in the living room. Thunder God, Hong and the other 9 that he didn't recognize sat at the long dining table. Third brother. Thunder God and Hong both stood up. The other 9 all turned to look. At the same time 8 of them stood up. Only the silver-haired old man in the center sat there carefully observing Luo Feng, revealing a smile. Luo Feng, I, Buddha Asaka, represent the Black Dragon Mountain Empire Emperor. Greetings, Lord Buddha Asaka. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Having been to the Ganwu auction and seen too many sector lords, Luo Feng could tell with one look. This silver-haired old man was a sector lord existence. Everyone sit. The silver-haired old man smiled. Luo Feng walked over and sat beside Hong and Thunder God. Luo Feng, I've come this time for 2 reasons. 1. I really want to see the outstanding geniuses of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The silver-haired old man, his beard and hair were all white, his entire being seemed very kind, making one feel close to him. 2. It's because of His Majesty. His Majesty pays a lot of attention to you, Luo Feng. He values you very much. He wants to reward you well. Luo Feng was shocked. That emperor probably didn't know. He and his 9th prince had some conflict. Lord Buddha Asaka, actually I didn't do much, I just did some of my own things. Luo Feng said. No. The silver-haired old man shook his head. Luo Feng, you've brought great honor to our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The countless citizens of the empire are all proud. You have done a great service. Great service. Luo Feng could only listen obediently. Originally, the emperor wanted to reward you. The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng, however. I suggested not to. Luo Feng looked at the sector lord before him, even more confused. I suggested to the emperor, if you can make it into the top 1,000 of the Ganwu universe country, he will grant you a galaxy. The silver-haired old man said. Grant me a galaxy? Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were all shocked. From what I know, your first planet territory is on Earth, hence, as long as you can make it into the top 1,000 of the Ganwu universe, the Milky Way under the Silver Blue Empire will belong to you. The silver-haired old man carefully looked at Luo Feng and the other two. As he expected, they all revealed shocked expressions. Milky Way? This was the territory of the Silver Blue Empire. Don't worry, this is the Emperor of the Silver Blue Empire, Yi. This matter has been approved by the Silver Blue Empire's royal family. The silver-haired old man looked at a handsome white-clothed man not too far away. This white-clothed man smiled and nodded at Luo Feng. I've long wanted to meet Mr. Luo Feng. If Mr. Luo Feng could manage the Milky Way, it would be the honor of our Silver Blue Empire. Luo Feng was stunned, after which he understood. Ganwu Universe Country's top 1,000? One had to know that the Ganwu Universe Country had over 100 million galaxies, with an average of 100,000 galaxies. To be able to make it into the top 1,000 of the Ganwu Universe Country, many of them were probably at the 9th level of domains, some had even comprehended some origin laws. He was already this terrifying at the star state. As long as this kind of genius did not fall along the way, as long as he continued to grow, it would not be a problem for him to become a sector lord. And if these geniuses were to be nurtured in the future, they would also become experts among the realm lords. A sector lord could easily obtain an entire galaxy. Right now, it was equivalent to giving a future sector lord a galaxy. If Luo Feng fell along the way without Luo Feng, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire and the Silver Blue Empire naturally had many ways to reclaim the Milky Way. This reward is too great, and to make it into the top 1,000, the difficulty is very high. Luo Feng's expression was one of difficulty. Right. The silver-haired old man Buddha Asaka nodded and sighed. It is very difficult. Our country's power is indeed weaker than the universe country's starfields. The last time we didn't even make it into the universe country's top 10,000. As for the top 1,000, it's been a very long time since we've made it. However, Luo Feng, you have hope of making it. This is some information our empire has gathered. A screen appeared before the silver-haired old man. He gently tapped it. I'll send it to you. Information? Luo Feng was curious. At the same time, Babata reminded him that he had received a mail. The mail had an attachment. Even though the elimination wasn't broadcasted, but according to the rankings, along with many geniuses who have long been famous, we've gathered quite a bit of information. The silver-haired old man smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. We've recorded the absolute geniuses who made it through this elimination, a total of 827. They're all famous absolute geniuses from the Ganwu Universe Country. Take a look first. It might be of help to you during the actual arena battles. Ah! Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Good stuff. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you'll never be defeated. Knowing the opponent's trump card beforehand, that way you'll be prepared for battle. Your chances of winning will be higher. Thank you. Luo Feng said gratefully. No need. The silver-haired old man smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. If you can make it into the top 1,000, I, Buddha Asaka, will have to thank you instead. I will work hard. Luo Feng nodded. This is the hope of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Making it into the top 1,000, being able to spar with the geniuses from the other universe countries. At least our Black Dragon Mountain Empire will have a person who can step onto the stage of humanity in the entire universe. The silver-haired old man's eyes were filled with anticipation. He was a sector lord, he was very strong. However, even sector lords were different. A sector lord like him, compared to Jiang Tianchun, had a huge difference in strength and position, and Jiang Tianchun, compared to the absolute geniuses nurtured by the Virtual Universe Company and the other giants from the beginning, his position was much lower. The Virtual Universe Company and the other giants, they nurtured absolute geniuses not only to nurture undyings, but more importantly, to nurture the strongest amongst the undyings. Of course, everything was still very far away. From the star level to undying, that was too far and too difficult. Many absolute geniuses were stuck at the pinnacle of sector lords for tens of millions of years, until they died of old age. Work hard. In the arena battles in the Ganwu Universe Country, you will represent the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. When you battle the pinnacle of the other universe countries, you will represent our Black Dragon Mountain Empire even more. The silver-haired old man said with anticipation. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God gathered together, spending 3 days to look through the information of the many warriors. Rank 3 in the 8th world? Stronger than me. Hong's expression was serious. There was a video playing on the screen in front of him. In the video, there was a tall man with golden hair and a golden scale on his forehead. He used a two-handed greatsword. When he swung the greatsword, everything became illusory and distorted. The greatsword was clearly there, but when the opponent tried to block it, they would miss. One blade to kill the opponent. This person's light domain was even more terrifying than Hong's. This is savage? He is indeed very strong. Luo Feng squinted, his eyes filled with excitement. Right, that's him. Thunder God nodded. He is indeed very strong. Hong's expression became even more serious. Video after video was played, along with many words and information. These were all information on the absolute geniuses of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Many of these geniuses were already very famous before the genius battles. They had long been snatched and recruited by the super organizations. This punk. Thunder God stared. In the video, there was a similarly bald strong man. He actually used a pair of iron fists as a weapon. Every punch was incomparably powerful. After spending 3 days to finish watching, it made Luo Feng and Hong, who were about to participate in the arena battles, feel the pressure. The strong were indeed as common as the clouds. Comprehending the origin laws at the star level was indeed heaven-defying. However, it couldn't compete with the sheer number of people in the Ganwu Universe Country. The entire Ganwu Universe Country could still find a few hundred people. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, it was the day of the arena battles. China time year 2066, July 16th, was the day before the arena battles. Virtual Universe, on one of the floating continents above the Ganwu continent, there was a huge meeting hall. The meeting hall was huge, with rows and rows of people. The meeting hall is really huge. It can actually seat over 100,000 people. Hong smiled and exclaimed, "The seats are very spacious too." This is still alright. The Ganwu auction seats are shockingly huge, and there are 3 million seats. The entire auction hall can't even be seen with a glance. Luo Feng said softly to Hong. Silence. A deep voice rang out, instantly causing the entire conference hall to fall silent. A man dressed in silver robes appeared on the platform at the very front of the conference hall. His gaze swept across the 100,100 people below him, all of whom were geniuses who had passed through the preliminaries. The Ganwu Universe Country that passed the elimination, there are 100,100 people. The silver long-robed man pointed to his side. Beside him a screen immediately floated. On the screen appeared silhouettes. These 100 people that obtained first place in their respective worlds will immediately receive the final spot. They have the right to represent the Ganwu Universe Country, to participate in the pinnacle battles between the many universe countries. The remaining 100,000 will fight for the 900 spots. The arena battles are split into the Arena Battle Royale and the Arena 1-on-1 battles. The silver long-robed man continued. First, through the Arena Battle Royale, we'll eliminate 90,000 people. The 100,000 of you will be split into 1,000 groups. Each group has 100 people. Every group will fight in the same arena. The last 10 people to survive will be considered to have passed the arena battle royale. After the arena battle royale, only 10,000 people will be eliminated. The 900 spots will be formed from these 10,000 people. Next, we'll begin the one-on-one arena battle. The silver long-robed man's gaze swept across the 100,100 geniuses. There were discussions below. The arena battle royale actually eliminated 90,000 people in one go. Too vicious. I've heard. Hong said softly. The last time in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, they were all eliminated in the arena battle royale, resulting in no one making it into the top 10,000. Luo Feng nodded. During the elimination, I barely made it into the top 1001. This time's arena battle royale, the elimination rate is very high. Hong said softly. Luo Feng said softly, Big brother, it's hard to say in the arena battle royale. Big brother still has hope of passing it. Next will be the one-on-one battles. Who? Suddenly in the entire meeting room, every genius had a screen appear before them. On it were numbers, ranging from 1 to 1,000. See the numbers before you? These are your groups. The silver long-robed man said loudly, From tomorrow onwards, it will be the first to the 200th group. The arena battle royale will last for 5 days. It will end in 5 days. Luo Feng looked at the number before him, 382. Beside him Hong's group number was 161. I wish everyone will be able to pass the arena battle royale. The silver long-robed man's voice resounded throughout the entire meeting room. We'll now teleport everyone out. Everyone get ready. The 100,100 geniuses in the entire meeting room immediately vanished. 3 chapters were completed. The third one was a little too taxing to write, however it was still completed. It took me until 1 p.m. to finish. I'm calling, give some monthly votes to Tomato. Tomato really wants a monthly vote now. Chapter 408. China time year 2066, July 17th, was the day the arena battles would begin. Before the elimination in the 100 worlds, there wasn't a broadcast. This made the countless citizens of the Ganwu Universe country's 13,000 star fields extremely anxious. After all, they could only see the rankings and the arena battles that were about to begin. However, they could actually enter and watch. This made the tickets for the arena battles incomparably crazy. The arena battles were split into 1,000 groups, 200 groups a day. The first day was the first group, the 200th group. The 3 from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire that passed the elimination, Nabini, Hong and Luo Feng, of which Nabini was in the 32nd group, Hong in the 161st group, and Luo Feng in the 382nd group. Hence Nabini and Hong were placed in the arena battles on the first day. Luo Feng's group was placed on the second day. In the virtual universe, within a specially open space, a vast and boundless river flowed. This river that flowed through the entire space had many islands, and on each island was an arena. The arena battles this time were being held in the dojo grounds. Island 01932. Within the dojo, the spectator stands were filled with people. One couldn't see the end. Within the spectator stands were Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and their own families. There are too many people. Daddy, just how big is this dojo? Ping Ping, who had his hair combed up, exclaimed. The dojo's length and width is 10 kilometers. Luo Feng smiled. The maximum it can hold is 1 billion spectators. 1 billion? Ping Ping and Little Hai, the 2 children, were both shocked. Actually, back on Earth, a soccer field could hold 100,000 people. And this kind of virtual universe that was opened up in a space and built on many islands, holding 1 billion spectators, was a very simple matter. Compared to Earth's soccer fields, the length and width were increased by 100 times, or even a few hundred times. Brother-in-law. Su Gang, who was sitting behind, smiled. The moment the arena battles came out, I rushed to book the tickets, but I still couldn't get one. Luckily you have the tickets, otherwise I'd have to watch the broadcast. It's very popular, the other people in our office couldn't even get a ticket. Luo Hua nodded. The entire Ganwu universe country has over 100 million galaxies. If every galaxy has 10 people buying tickets, they'll all be sold out. Luo Feng said, these tickets would naturally be very tight. Because Big Brother and I passed the preliminaries, we have the priority to book tickets, so we were able to get a few dozen tickets. Tickets were hard to come by. The atmosphere in the entire arena was extremely lively. What kind of scene was it to have 1 billion people from hundreds of millions of galaxies gathered together? Luckily this was in the virtual universe. In the real world, just the organization of the people would be troublesome. Everyone. A sweet and melodious voice resounded in the ears of the 1 billion spectators in the arena. The group of people from Earth in the spectator stands all turned their heads to look. In the middle of the arena stood a brown-haired girl with an alluring figure and a tight battle suit. Because it was too far away, the audience couldn't see it clearly. Therefore, a huge virtual projection appeared in the arena, allowing everyone in the audience to see it clearly. The 30-second group battle will be held soon. Let me introduce the 100 geniuses of the 30-second group. First, Long Saw from the Boya Empire. His previous ranking in the 82nd world was number 12. The beautiful brown-haired girl's voice resounded in the ears of the 1 billion spectators. Beside her a screen appeared, on it was the image of the genius called Long Saw and some simple information. Long Saw. Long Saw. The entire dojo suddenly erupted in cheers. In a certain area of the dojo, a large group of people were madly cheering, shouting Long Sua's name loudly. Their cheers were like thunder. 2ND, 3RD. One by one, the geniuses were introduced. Finally, the beautiful brown-haired girl smiled and said, 86th, Nabini, from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. His previous ranking in the 21st world was 860. Beside her screen appeared Nabini's image, and some simple information. Rumble, Luo Feng felt his surroundings suddenly explode. Like a tsunami, the cheers resounded throughout the entire area. Nabini! Nabini! The cheers were like rolling thunder. Immersed in such an environment, many people couldn't help but shout along. At the side, Ping Ping and Little Hai were waving their fists and shouting with reddened faces, Nabini, Nabini. That's crazy. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God all laughed. This was the arrangement of the spectators. The spectators from each starfield were all arranged in one area. Luo Feng and the others were all spectators from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. And the starfield of the geniuses participating in the arena battles would receive special treatment when they purchased the tickets. In theory, with 1 billion tickets, over 13,000 starfields, each starfield didn't even have 100,000 tickets. However, the starfield that the participants were from could have 1 million tickets. As Nabini was participating, the Black Dragon Mountain starfield received 1 million tickets. In the spectator area, there were 1 million citizens from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Before, the other starfields were cheering. Now that it was the Black Dragon Mountain starfield's turn, the 1 million people all cheered excitedly. The 1 million cheers were like a tsunami. This Nabini is quite handsome. Thunder God laughed softly. Nabini, with a braid, his entire being gave off the feeling of a leopard. I've checked his resume, it's not bad. Hong raised his wrist and a resume appeared on the screen. Luo Feng looked at the resume. Nabini was originally an aborigine of a planet. He lived a life of eating raw meat and drinking blood. Since young, he had battled with monsters. Actually, this planet was one of the Paris family's planet territories. It was specially used to rear special beasts and train warriors. The Paris family that had been secretly monitoring this planet discovered that there was actually a child with shocking battle strength. They knew this child was a treasure. They immediately sent people to bring Nabini away. Nabini, from then on, entered civilized society and quickly became a citizen of the empire. He also became the follower of a young master of the Paris family. The Paris family, in the vast universe, was very inconspicuous. It was a business family that owned over 10 life planets. However, the Paris family offended an enemy and was attacked by a powerful family. And the enemy family had a universe-level warrior. In a galaxy, a universe-level warrior was simply the local tyrant. The Paris family began to crumble, however. This huge battle attracted the attention of a certain sector lord that was roaming the universe. That sector lord noticed Nabini in the midst of the battle and discovered his shocking talent. He immediately acted to stop the massacre. With the sector lord acting, the enemy family was too scared to resist. Hence, the Paris family was saved. That sector lord took Nabini as his disciple and brought him to the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. Since then, Nabini had been living in the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. His strength grew even faster. He was currently the most exceptional genius in the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. Aborigine! Luo Feng exclaimed, "Actually we are aboriginals too." Hong nodded. "I've discovered that I have a good impression of this Nabini." Thunder God laughed. While Luo Feng and the others were chatting, the beautiful lady in the center of the dojo was also pulling the atmosphere, shouting excitedly, "Spectators! Spectators! The arena battles are about to begin. Please count down and anticipate the battle between the pinnacle geniuses. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1 rumble." The entire dojo rumbled. Silhouettes appeared in the center of the dojo. They were the 100 geniuses from the various starfields that were introduced earlier. Nabini! Si Laku! Long Sua! All sorts of cheers immediately ignited the entire dojo. The entire dojo seemed to be blown apart by the shockwaves from the cheers. Luo Feng also immediately noticed Nabini within the 100 people. Nabini's hair was braided and his gaze was ferocious, almost like a cheetah. On his back were 2 long and narrow battle blades, carefully observing the others. "Battle begin!" A low voice resounded in everyone's mind, including the 1 billion spectators. Silence. The dojo immediately went silent. The 100 geniuses in the center of the dojo immediately moved. Chi! Shio! Streams of light flashed, and the genius experts dodged swiftly. The domain that spread out caused the center of the arena to be covered in a myriad of colors. Air waves of various colors surged and revolved. The genius experts were either fleeing for their lives or fighting each other. Everything happened as fast as lightning. The chaotic battles were extremely dangerous. That was because one had to defend against sneak attacks. Nabini is really crafty. In the spectator stands, Thunder God's eyes gleamed. It's useless. They're all extremely intelligent. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The space in the center of the dojo was constantly shrinking. It caused those flying spirit weapons to be unable to escape too far. One after another, the geniuses fell and died. The number of deaths continued to rise. 8, 14, 29, 36. This caused the 1 billion spectators in the spectator stands. Many of the Starfield spectators were anxious. Some of them sighed. However, the intense and swift battle still caused everyone to suppress themselves and not make any loud noises. Nabini wielded 2 blades. His entire being became a gust of wind as he madly defended against the opponent's spirit weapons. Just as Nabini and the spirit reader were locked in battle, another genius flew over from the distance. Simultaneously, he too controlled a conical spirit weapon and became a beam of light shooting over. Humph! A beam of light shot over from the distance. Nabini dodged and used his left blade to block. Pa! The lightning caused Nabini's left blade to fly. Nabini's face revealed a look of shock. The power too strong. That lightning immediately pierced through his head. Nabini had died. The death toll swiftly rose. 73. 78. 82. 89. 90. The 30-second group's arena battles have ended. The 90 who died have been eliminated. The remaining 10 have the right to fight for the 900 spots. A low voice resounded within the 1 billion spectators and the 10 surviving geniuses. Only then did the entire spectator stands begin to resonate with different sounds. Sighs, roars, excited cheers. Nabini has been eliminated. Thunder God shook his head. His strength is at the bottom of these 100 people. He only died after half the people died. The main thing is that he's crafty. Hong shook his head. Being eliminated is normal. I'm afraid I won't be much better off than him. Chapter 409. Big Brother, do you think I don't know you? Thunder God laughed. Remember back during the Great Nirvana period, you and I were both young. We met with danger time after time, seemingly hopeless, but you always managed to turn the impossible into the possible. Don't flatter me, Hong said. Let's go all out, Big Brother. Let them see our Earth's battle technique. Thunder God said. Luo Feng too looked expectantly at Hong. Hong looked at Thunder God and turned to look at Luo Feng. I can only go all out. Hong revealed a smile. The 3 from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had passed the elimination. However, in the arena battle, Nabini had lost and was eliminated. One had to know that this arena battle was broadcasted. The trillions of people from the Black Dragon Mountain star field all saw this battle. Who knew how many people raged and smashed their wine bottles, and how many cursed loudly. That punk from the Pu Luo star field is too sinister. He actually ambushed Nabini. That bastard! Nabini's loss was too unjust. He should have made it into the top 10,000. Today's arena battles, our Black Dragon Mountain Empire still has Hong. He will definitely win. He will definitely make it into the top 10,000 of the Ganwu Universe country. Brother, that Hong was ranked last in the elimination. To survive in the arena battles, it'll be very hard. I think Luo Feng has a higher chance. Luo Feng will definitely pass. As for Hong, he will pass too. Who knows, this Hong might have purposely held back during the elimination. Virtual Universe, number 10,389 Dojo. Approximately 3 hours after watching Nabini's arena free-for-all, the 161st group's arena battle was about to begin in the arena number 10389. The entire arena was filled with cheers, and the beautiful commentator was introducing the simple information of the 100 geniuses participating in this battle. Number 93 Hong, from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. He was ranked 982 in the 72nd world of the elimination. Another beautiful commentator said, Hong, Hong, Hong. In the spectator area, over 1 million people from the Black Dragon Mountain star field were shouting loudly, almost as though they were announcing, the genius Hong belonged to their Black Dragon Mountain Empire. And within the cheering crowd, Luo Feng and Thunder God creased their eyebrows. Big trouble. Thunder God said softly, I didn't expect even that savage to be here. Yes. Luo Feng too held his breath as he waited, feeling worried for his big brother. Everyone who can make it into the arena battles is impressive, especially his big brother's group, which even had the savage who killed his second brother. Very soon, amidst the sound of the countdown, the arena rumbled as 100 absolute elites appeared in the arena. Big Brother. Luo Feng immediately saw Hong. In the arena, Hong held a silver spear in his hand, his gaze cautiously scanning the surroundings. This chaotic battle space had a circumference of 30 kilometers, and during the battle space would continuously shrink, forcing those who could fly fast to be unable to escape. After about 15 minutes, the circumference of 30 kilometers would shrink to a mere meter. Therefore, a battle royale would last for 15 minutes at most. Among these 100 people, the strongest should be Savage. When Hong glanced at the other 99 people around him, Some information that he had read quickly appeared in his mind. The other 3 are also very strong. Let's go and fight the weaker ones first. That way we can temporarily preserve our lives. Then we'll fight again. Information swiftly appeared in Hong's mind. He was very clear that if he were to flee from the start, he would definitely become the target of some of the extremely strong geniuses. He might as well charge into the battle royale right from the start. As for preserving his life in the battle royale, Hong was still very confident. Battle begin. A low and majestic voice resounded throughout the entire arena's mind. The circumference of 30 kilometers began to shrink. In just 15 minutes, it would shrink to a meter in diameter. Rumble! Rumble! The raging energy flow exploded outwards. The 100 geniuses in the arena swiftly began to engage in battle. Receive my blade! That messy-haired, tall and sturdy youth roared, his bare feet taking a step forward, strangely covering 100 meters, that sharp blade immediately chopping towards a spirit reader. That spirit reader didn't seem to expect the opponent to be so fast, shocked as he tried to dodge and control his spirit weapon to block. Quang! The short blade chopped down. It was unstoppable, just like a mountain pressing down on him. That spirit weapon was immediately sent flying, following which the short blade chopped right into that spirit reader's head, splitting it in half. Ha 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 ha! The tall and sturdy man laughed loudly, striding forward with his bare feet. Every step he took allowed him to travel very far. His instantaneous acceleration was much faster than many spirit readers flying. Surround and kill him! Everyone join hands and kill him first! Someone shouted loudly. Xiao! Xiao! 2 spirit weapons shot over. Dang! Dang! The short blade casually waved around, easily blocking the 2 spirit weapons, even sending them flying. Surround and kill me? The tall and sturdy youth's steps were like a ghost, actually moving within the chaotic battle royale, causing those 10 people who wanted to surround and kill him to be unable to do so at all. Instead, half of them were quickly dealt with by the tall and sturdy youth. Wherever this savage went, it was simply a massacre. Even though these 100 people were all absolute geniuses, none of them could contend against this savage. In this chaotic battle royale, the most dazzling was undoubtedly Savage. However, other than Savage, there was another woman who was also very valiant. That was an incomparably valiant woman dressed in armor. One could only judge from her figure that it was a beautiful woman with an alluring figure. However, her killing intent, the viciousness in her eyes, as well as the clean and efficient way she killed, made it hard for anyone to think that she was a woman. Chi, wielding a silver long spear, Hong engaged in a chaotic battle amongst a group of geniuses, only to see geniuses fall to the ground and die. However, Hong was still strangely alive. Ong! The long spear was like lightning, swiftly ambushing from the back, directly killing a genius head. After killing one, Hong's expression didn't change at all, still in the chaotic battle royale. His long spear danced about. It looked ordinary, but even many spirit weapons were unable to break through his defense. As time passed, the death toll accumulated to 60, 61, 62. As the number of people decreased, the chaotic battle royale also decreased. That valiant female warrior immediately stared at Hong. In the universe, there were many who used the long spear as a weapon. However, normally, when they used the long spear as a weapon, they would choose the extremely sturdy long spear. However, the long spear that Hong used was extremely tough. When the long spear danced about, it was like a huge snake, extremely strange. Interesting. The valiant female warrior wielded 2 blades, directly flying towards Hong. Not good. Hong's expression changed. During the chaotic battle royale, he had long since deduced through his secret observation in this group, this valiant female warrior was definitely in the top 3, only Savage was slightly stronger than her. He didn't expect her to pounce towards him. However, since the opponent was already here, He couldn't dodge. He could only meet her head-on. Ong! The long spear spun, like a loach in water, extremely fast and nimble, directly piercing towards the incoming female warrior. Interesting, interesting. The female warrior's eyes glowed with excitement, her body was filled with green energy, the energy wrapped around her two curved blades. She waved them about, the curved blades directly slashing at the tip of the long spear. A formless, strange rotating force was transmitted to the long spear. Hong's expression changed, and he immediately retracted his long spear. Following which, with an explosive roar, he raised the long spear in his hands high, and as if he was chopping with an axe, he fiercely smashed it towards the female warrior. Pung! The female warrior's entire body turned into a turbulent flow of water. One of the curved blades merely made contact with the long spear, and the powerful impact was dissipated. After which, the female warrior frantically surrounded Hong and continuously attacked. In an instant, Hong felt as if he had fallen into a whirlpool of water, unable to escape. This female warrior has already comprehended some of the water source laws. This is going to be troublesome. Hong was anxious. Regarding metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, ancient Chinese culture placed great importance on the 5 elements. Although Hong walked the path of light domain, he understood the power of the female warrior very well. Understanding was one thing, whether he could defeat her was another. She is like water, I will become a boulder. Hong had no other choice. He gritted his teeth, and instantly the surrounding light distorted, his entire person becoming extremely dazzling. The long spear's speed immediately increased by a level. When the long spear was displayed, it was like a tortoise shell, making it impossible for people to attack. Dang! 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 Every blade of the female warrior infused with the water laws was incomparably heavy and turbulent, giving Hong a feeling of being unable to defend against it. If one doesn't step into the gateway of the laws, it's ultimately useless. Hong immediately understood this logic. Hong! Among the 1 billion spectators in the dojo, many people from the Black Dragon Mountain Star Field were waiting in anticipation. However, there were even more people who were watching through the broadcast. Virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island above the floating island. On the floating island, those who could stay had to be at least a universe level. Within it, there was a seemingly simple manor that took up an extremely large amount of space. Within the manor's guest room, a man dressed in a dark red robe sat at the side. On his forehead was a lightning mark. This person was one of the pinnacle of the sector lords of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, Jiang Tianchen. And beside Jiang Tianchen, there was a white-haired old man who looked kind. This black-clothed punk, is he from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire? The old man said with interest. His light domain, from what I see, seems like it's only a level 6 domain. However, he's really a battle genius, an extremely resilient long spear. He can actually unleash the light domain to such a level. It's even comparable to those domain level 8 punk. A domain level 8 might not necessarily be stronger than a domain level 7. It all depended on one's ability. One theory. Maybe one has some comprehension of the origin laws, but how to use it in battle, it also determined one's battle strength. For example, Luo Feng, using the soaring shuttle and the Nanshin armament, his power was completely different. This was because he could completely unleash his comprehension of the origin laws through the Nanshin armament. Yes, army leader, he's from our empire, Jiang Tianchen said respectfully. The old man smiled. Army leader. This title, if the other sector lords of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire heard it, they would be shocked. Within the 3-Axe Mountain organization, the sector lords were all called generals. And the 3-Axe Mountain organization had 3 founders. Only those 3 had the right to be called army leaders. P.S. Chapter 2 has arrived. Continue writing the 3rd chapter. Chapter 410. 3-Axe Mountain, as the head of the 4 great organizations in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield, even the Sacred Lands Black Dragon Mountain and Ice Sea God Country didn't want to mess with them, was because of the 3 founders behind them. The 3 founders, when they were young, they all received the Domain Lord level Battleaxe Fighter title from the Battleaxe Coliseum. Domain Lord Battleaxe Fighters, compared to Universe level Battleaxe Fighters, were thousands to tens of thousands of times rarer. These 3 came from different starfields, yet they appreciated each other, becoming life and death friends. As the 3 all had the Battleaxe Fighter title, hence the organization they established was named 3-Axe Mountain. These 3 were 2 men and 1 woman. They were called Lermonto, Moreya and Luo. Lermonto and Moreya had already become undying. Only Luo, this legendary warrior of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, was still stuck at the pinnacle of the Sector Lord level. However, he was considered invincible amongst the Sector Lords. Ever since he disappeared from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield hundreds of thousands of years ago, no one had seen him since. No one knew if the 3rd founder was alive or dead. Is he from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire? This question exposed this general. This founder was from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The 3 founders came from different starfields, and the one from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was Luo. Do you have any information on this punk? The old man said. Yes. Jiang Tianchen said respectfully, very quickly retrieving a piece of information, saying softly, he's called Hong. He's extremely close to the other 2 youths Luo Feng and Thunder God. The 3 of them, according to our estimations, should be aboriginals of our Milky Way galaxy's Earth. Aboriginals? The old man's eyebrows slightly creased. Right, however, this is the conjecture of our 3-Axe Mountain Intelligence Agency. Jiang Tianchen said. Also, Hong, Luo Feng and Thunder God have all participated in this round's genius battle. Amongst them, the most outstanding isn't Hong, but Luo Feng. There are even more outstanding ones? The old man revealed a shocked expression. Right. That Thunder God's elimination was ranked 5128, Hong's was ranked 982, and Luo Feng's was ranked 51, said Jiang Tianchen respectfully. The old man nodded slightly. Looking at the screen in front of him that was broadcasting the arena battle, he said in surprise, this Hong actually broke through at the critical moment, comprehending the 6th domain and breaking through to the 7th domain. That little girl exploded. What a powerful saber technique. It was continuous and layered. This Hong couldn't take it anymore. Oh, what a pity, he still died. There's no other way, the absolute difference in strength is too big. Jiang Tianchen was secretly shocked. General Luo rarely spoke so much, but it seemed like he cared a lot about Hong. Roar. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire was a legend. Even the 2 god masters of the Sacred Lands Black Dragon Mountain and Sacred Lands Ice Sea God Kingdom would give him face. One was that Luo's 2 best friends were both undying, and 2 was that Luo was indeed very strong. Jiang Tianchen's fame was mainly in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, while Luo's fame was enough to make the millions of sector lords in the Ganwu Universe country respect him. If not for him being distracted by the time laws, he would have long become an undying. Sigh. Jiang Tianchen looked at the old man before him, the senior Luo who guided him back then, sighing within, is this fate? The general changed his mind, no longer harboring too much ambition. He wanted to perfect the light origin laws and break through to the undying level. However, he met with that calamity and was trapped for over 800,000 years. Wasting the last important moments, there's still over 20,000 years before he reaches his limit. How can the heavens punish the general like this? Jiang Tianchen felt uncomfortable within. The 3 founders, Luo was the most outstanding back then and also the most ambitious. However, fate played tricks on people. Asterisk 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 of the 1000 arena group battles, the 161st group battle had already ended. The spectators were all sighing. The group of people from Earth sitting in the spectator stands looked at Hong's corpse in the arena helplessly. He still lost. Thunder God shook his head helplessly. The opponent was indeed too strong. Luo Feng shook his head, comprehending some of the origin laws. One's strength will have a fundamental change. Big Brother's loss wasn't unjust, but it's regretful. Yes, regretful. Hong had already done very well, even enduring until there were only about 20 people left. However, they were still killed by that female warrior's ultimate move. Let's go home. Luo Feng stood up. 30, it's all up to you now. Of the 3 from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire that passed the elimination, only you are left. Thunder God stood up and said softly. Only me. Luo Feng's ears twitched. He heard the discussions around him. This region had over 1 million spectators from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. Obviously Narnia and Hong's consecutive defeats had made the trillions of people from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield feel sullen. Right now, their only hope was on Luo Feng. Luo Feng will definitely win. Right, he even made it to 51 in the elimination. This arena battle will definitely be a piece of cake. Luo Feng is our empire's most powerful genius. Luo Feng must have been hiding his strength. His strength is much stronger than what he showed in the rankings. He only rose abruptly in the later stages of the elimination. That means he didn't risk his life right from the start. He only began to fight for points in the last stage. If he had fought for them right from the start, he would have made it to the world's top 10 or even top 3. Well said, that's it. Tomorrow Luo Feng will be participating in the arena battles. I've already bought the tickets. Luo Feng will definitely be able to sweep them all. Sweep them all. Many people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, who were unsatisfied with their losses, were all discussing. And the one they had the most confidence in was Luo Feng. 30, I've lost. You have to work hard. Hong said. 30, do as you see fit. Thunder God said. I've been able to make it to a very high rank in the virtual game. My dad is the strongest. He's definitely the strongest in the Ganwu universe. Little Hai said. Luo Feng, work hard. Our entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire's countless citizens are watching you. This was what the Black Dragon Mountain Empire Emperor said to Luo Feng during the call. Luo Feng. Luo Feng. Luo Feng. Luo Feng will definitely succeed. He will definitely win. He'll definitely win. The entire Black Dragon Mountain Island was basically made up of citizens of the Empire. Hence the trillions of people on the island were in an uproar on this night. In the bars and public places there were gatherings. Hundreds of thousands, even millions, tens of thousands of people gathered in a certain area to watch the broadcast. Luo Feng, the only citizen of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire still participating in the genius battle, Luo Feng's victory was the glory of the entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire. So crazy. Luo Feng felt like he was holding his breath. Dad, when I play virtual games there are even country wars. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire has country wars with other empires. Little Hai, that's just a virtual game. Suexian smiled. Your dad has real skills. To be able to be ranked number 1 in the starfield, in our virtual games, they're all absolute warriors in the sky rankings. Little Hai said. Luo Feng, who hadn't interrupted all this time, finally looked shocked at his son. What game are you playing? A battle-type game. Little C chuckled. Night passed and day arrived. Even though countless people in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield were going crazy over the upcoming arena battles, Luo Feng himself was alone in the wilderness of Earth. In a desolate city's skyscraper balcony, he sat quietly. A group of flying-type monsters, blood crows, flew across the sky. In this desolate city, groups of monsters could often be seen, and occasionally human fighters could be seen. However, Luo Feng didn't suppress it, naturally releasing his willpower and pressure. Naturally not a single monster dared to get close. No human fighter dared to get close. Quietly sitting on the balcony after a long time, Luo Feng was controlling his mental state, according to his big brother and second brother's teachings. Whether it was ancient yoga or internal martial arts, they all placed great importance on mental state. Mental state training was very important. However, in the universe, there was no such thing as mental state training. Mental state was something very vague. It didn't seem to have much of an effect on one's battle strength. No matter how strong a normal human's mental state was, a universe-level warrior would be able to blow him into dust with one breath. Rage, at times, would allow one to unleash one's full power. However, at times, it would cause one to unleash one's full power. This was mental state. According to his big brother and second brother's teachings, from their point of view, the reason they were able to have their own domains at the Star Traveler level had something to do with mental state. Thunder God could, in an instant, allow himself to enter a state of calmness, absolute sincerity, becoming one with the world. And Hong could also instantly enter a state of incomparable emptiness, becoming one with the natural environment, combining all his senses and domains, naturally unleashing his full power. Thunder God and Hong, those were states of mind that took tens of years of training. Luo Feng couldn't do it. Empty mind, I can't do it. Because I've been affected by the golden-horned beast's bloodline, my heart is filled with killing intent. This is a killing intent that comes from my bones. However, second brother is right. Whether it's anger, sadness, happiness, excitement, killing, all emotions are natural reactions. Maintain a pure heart, all emotions will naturally occur. Laugh when you need to, be angry when you need to. Luo Feng thought, killing is also a part of nature. With a pure heart, face it and accept it. Naturally you'll be able to reach the state of being one with the world. Luo Feng understood the theory. However, when it came to killing, Luo Feng could at most maintain a cold state of mind, without any ripples. As for being pure, becoming one with nature, that was very, very difficult. Luo Feng, the arena battles are about to begin. You should enter the virtual universe. Who? Luo Feng opened his eyes. They were filled with a sense of coldness. His killing intent was no longer suppressed, it was naturally released. Seems different. There's some progress in your mental state training? Luo Feng didn't reply, instead saying, enter the virtual universe. Virtual universe, within the space where many dojos were located, within the preparation hall of island number 29109, there were many geniuses seated on the chairs. These were all geniuses who were preparing to fight. Who? A black-haired man dressed in a dark gray armor appeared in mid-air. The many geniuses within the preparation hall all turned to look. The black-haired man glanced at the geniuses around, not saying a word. He immediately found a seat and sat down, closing his eyes, calming his mind, waiting for the battle to begin. P.S. 3 chapters completed. I'm tired, but I still have to prepare the manuscript for the publishing company at night. How pitiful! I'll have to ask my brothers to give me some monthly votes, to comfort Tomato.